All right, all right, all right, all right. What's up, YouTube land?
What is going on, everyone?
We are finally home at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It has been a long
Yeah.
day with a majority of it
6 hours in the car.
in the car.
Yeah.
It has been a long day, like we just said. We spent 2 hours driving to Glen Head, New York, in Staten Island for Long Island, Staten Island.
We did make a stop
on the way
home
to go visit the Chandler Diamondbacks.
We had to go drop the champs off their defending road to a repeat cards.
We stood out in the cold for about 2.5 hours, freezing cold. It was pretty brutal. We posted pictures up a little bit later. I know Stratomatic has some up of us. And then we sat in the car for about 3.5 hours on the way home because New Jersey and New York traffic is the worst thing in the history of the world.
It absolutely is.
So yeah, that was how our day went. But we've been looking at cards all day. We've been separating some on this table as you see here. We got a lot more to do.
Yeah, we got the American League done.
Well, part of the American League done.
Yeah. The regular set.
The regular set, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna do the National League after the telecast, and then we have to dip into the mixed and additional card sets.
Yeah, and that usually the mixed and the additional is what takes the longest amount of time because there's no rhyme or reason to the order that they put them on the sheets. It takes a little while to do that, and then we just Kevin and I usually just sit here and look at cards and laugh and
judge
everybody, including ourselves. But that's also what we're here for today. We're here for the state of the JNJSOM.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the 2024 entry draft. We'll be giving a breakdown of all 10 teams draft. We'll be giving a breakdown of the grades that both Kevin and I gave them. Kevin has been a little bit more organized than myself, like always. He has grades written based off of just the draft, whereas I'm going off of some of the cards that I've seen,
yes,
as well as just my mental note of the draft as well. And plus, I have my handy dandy phone over here as well.
After a quick glance, maybe like an hour and a half to go over the entire set as we were sitting eating pizza this afternoon. We didn't get really into detail of the cards, but we got to see, a quick glance of them.
The team sets, not the additional. So
honestly, I have to say that, again, every prediction that I made in regards to a fielding rating, how a card was going to be laid out, I hit every single one of them day.
Yeah, I think the only things that we were a little short on, both of us, were some of the E ratings that we saw.
Yeah.
Some of the E ratings were very high compared to what we're used to.
There's going to be a little skeptical at best.
Yeah, I've got a couple pretty sketchy ones.
Yeah.
Kevin's got a couple sketchy ones that we're going to have to figure out on our own. But on top of that, there was some pitching cards. We've noticed a big pattern of starting pitchers. There's only a couple stud pitchers that we've seen so far. And a lot of the other ones, you're going to see a real pattern of their big hits being on that 7, 8, 9, regardless of the type of season that they had. You could have 4 hits on one side of the card, and it's going to be on a 7, 8, or 9. And that's going to be a real difficult thing.
I'm going to give them a spoiler, so you can text the league.
Yes.
Let them know we are online. YouTube.com/@JNJSOM. If they want to tune in and comment.
I'm going to do that right now, ladies and gentlemen.
But I will be giving you, if you don't have your sets, your cards, you're waiting for them in the mail, you might want to hit the mute button because I'm about to give you a spoiler amongst spoilers. For those that were waiting for Ronald Acuna to have the greatest Stratomatic card of all time, especially the owner of it in our league, Mr. John Torrey, I warned you guys that, yes, look, you can't, the guy had a historical season. Almost, 330?
40 home runs,
40 homers, 70 stolen bases, over 100 RBIs, OPS well over 1,000. And everybody's expecting this ridiculous card. And I told everybody, don't hold your breath. Ronald Acuna had over 700 plate appearances. Stratomatic is based on ratios and averages. So for 700 plate appearances to hit 40 home runs is not a lot of home runs percentage-wise. In the scheme of thing of baseball, it is, but when you're doing percentages, it's not. So basically, what that would be if he had 1,000 plate appearances and 40 home runs, that'd be a home run every what?
Say that again.
1,000 plate appearances and he had 40
home runs. So that's
home run every what? So not every four, man. So
no.
about 40.
Yeah, something like that. My math isn't good right now.
So
it's been a long day.
You do that in 700 plate appearances, so it's a little less, maybe like between 25 and 30 plate appearances, which is nowhere near Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, guys like that. He has a great card, don't get me wrong.
And I'm not going to do this the whole night, but I just brought it up just because it was one of the best cards in the league. He has 15 against lefties, 16 against righties. He's a AA, running 1 to 17, hit and run B, a 3-4 E5.
Barry Bonds had a better card when Barry Bonds hit 73 home runs.
Juan Soto had a better card 2 years ago.
And I will say right now, we feel that the best card in the entire set this year from head to toe, a right field 1 -3 E0.
Yep.
Second base 2 E6 and a shortstop 3 E20 something.
Sorry, E44.
E44, which he's not going to play.
He's not going to play shortstop.
But Mookie Betts by far and away,
and
it's the best card.
And one of the reasons that he is,
and he's a stealing base
because his power column isn't just mixed with walks and a couple. It's pure power there. He's got a home run 2-4. Home run double split 2-5, a double single split 2-6, spelt out home run 2-10. He's got a home run 1-5 at 2-12. He's got walks in the secondary and a third column. It's really, really solid against righties and lefties. It's basically identical.
Just a little bit more spelt out opportunity
on the left side, at 2-4, 2-5 spelt out, and 2-7, 1 to 17 out. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It may not be as many opportunities to get on base like Acuna is, but they're juicier, they're more compact hits. And it's 14 on the left, 14 and a half on each side, which is perfect. And it's a real true power.
That was more than Joey Meneses' last year winter card, where he had 13 and a half on one side and like 15 on the other.
15 on the left, right?
But again, that was with limited at bats. He barely had 150 plate appearances that year. So
crazy. But we're not going to be going into those. We don't want to have to look through sheets. We have the AL done. If there's an AL player that comes up, or maybe that's requested, we'll take a look at it and review it with everybody.
Let's recap 2023. Another season in the books, which of course we like to thank all the general managers for being part of it.
I want to thank the American League, myself, Robert Herman, not John Torrey, Richie Jones, Bill, and then Annie. That is my division.
Right. And we'd like to thank the American League president, Nick.
Thank you.
Also the treasurer of the league, Annie, also from his division. And then we have the National League president, Jessica, myself as the commissioner, Kenny, Jonathan, and Sean. Which, Sean, I don't know if you're watching, but we said hi, Sean, #Florida. Just for you. I hope it's hope you're not crying because it's like 45 degrees there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we were outside in like 20-degree weather today. So
we're 30-mile-an-hour winds, and we're expecting 5 inches of snow tonight.
Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't drive.
Sweet.
So,
Great. All right. So to recap, the Chandler Diamondbacks won their first ever franchise world championship, defeating New Jersey Shore Surge in 6.
Also, I'd like to just state, as the American League president, I am proud for the three-peat of the American League. 3 years ago, it was the Lockport Herminators winning their first World Series. 2 years ago, it was myself winning my second. And then this year, we had the Chandler Diamondbacks winning their first. So I'm very proud to represent the American League here today.
So how many years? Three?
Three-peat for the American League.
Three-peat. And I've been to the World Series 3 times in 4 years and lost 2 of them in a row.
Yep.
So
well, the American League, since we came back in 2019, the American League has won 4 out of 5.
I'm officially the LeBron James of the JNJSOM. Just call me LaFlop in the World Series.
King next.
All right. So we had a lot of records that fell during the season, including individual stolen bases. John Birdie stole 68 bases during the regular season.
In 66 games.
Technically 65 games.
Yep.
66 game season, which he
combined between 2 teams, but
60 for me and 5 for
eight for First United. Then, if you said 6, you said 68.
Yeah. Which he stole 1 base in 5 games for him.
Yeah, so 67 for you then.
Yeah, 67.
67 for you.
60 games.
In 60 games then.
And then my team also shattered the franchise record of 97 team stolen bases with 114.
Yeah,
this year. So
and I think I don't know.
Hi, Jess.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to do it this year, but with the amount of speed that we've seen in the cards that we've seen today, there are more double A's than we've ever seen before. There are more A's than we've ever seen before. There's more B's in this league than we've ever seen before. And I'm not just talking strat, John. I'm talking our league.
For those who've been playing strat a long time, not just like the 90s, a lot of these cards look like juiced up 1980s cards.
Yes.
Because 1980s was all about getting on base, running, getting guys over, getting them in.
Yep.
Wasn't always about the long ball. There was like 1 or 2 guys that were 25 to 30 home run guys on the team, but everybody stole 15 to 20 bases, especially those Cardinal teams, and everybody on the team had 30 or 40, including 90 plus from Coleman. So that's what, everybody's going to have at least, I want to say at least 2 A's and 2 B's minimum.
Like, I know me, for my team that I've seen, I think I have 5 A's, 5 B's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think a couple of those, I think I might have an A or 2 in the minors and like a couple B's in the minors, but like, there's going to be a lot of speed in this league. You have guys like Kyle Tucker, who's an A. Kyle Tucker's a double A. Eusteri Ruiz, who's a double A.
Ruiz, double A. Acuna's a double A. Jorge Mateo is a double A.
Jorge Mateo's a double A. Bobby Witt
is a double
A.
And that's just on the top of the head.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
double A's.
There's only 1 7-inning starter, Logan Webb.
So congrats, Bill, for that. Yeah. I'm sure we'll be seeing some complete games for Logan Webb this year. It's possible. Some CGs, legit legal CGs in our league. Yep.
The Kenny special.
No.
You're pitching 9. You're going in extra. Just don't roll.
Oh, Kenny, but that's a John special too. That's a John Torrey special.
Yeah.
He led the league in.
Well, last year also Kenny had Alcantara who went 7.
And then the year before that, it was Zach Wheeler for Robbie. And then we've had a couple in the league here and there. But
Framber
for me.
Tigers never got drafted.
No, Boston, who never got drafted.
Yeah, you don't get drafted. You don't care.
The knuckleballer.
Yeah.
Who used to pitch for Boston.
You don't care.
But yeah, this year it's just Logan Webb. And not just in the league. There's only 1 7-inning starter in the whole set, which is absolutely
after
insane.
him. It was somebody was 6.4. That was it. Which he's going to be a 6-inning starter.
Yeah.
So the 7-inning starter days, unfortunately, they're gone.
But that's where the depth of strat bullpens are so important, and there are so many good bullpen cards that we see. I will say there's not too many that we've seen so far that are like completely blank, no hits, maybe 1 walk on each side, but there is good base level depth when it comes to a lot of these guys. You're going to see a couple guys with some 3-4 walks on the side, maybe a hit here or there. You're going to see real balanced bullpens this year, which I think is really going to make late game baseball in this league super fun next year, or this coming up year.
I agree. Let's recap. Pete Alonso won the league MVP.
and then got
Probably
released.
single-handedly carried Broad Street into the
Absolutely.
postseason.
Yeah.
And they rewarded him with a designated for assignment. So, and he is now a member of the Chandler Diamondbacks.
Different division.
So, yeah.
Speaking of that, why don't we go over the fun little thing we did?
Let's finish recap.
You want to finish recapping first? Okay.
So your stolen base champ was John Burney, who also was the batting champ.
Had like 10 hits,
Home
like
run.
9 hits on each side, and wins the batting title.
The 2 columns just
Because that makes sense, right, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, that's just
like Doug Lambo winning the batting title from years ago.
yeah.
The home run champ was Pete Alonso.
Yep.
The RBI champ was Ahmed Rosario. Because that's
Second round pick though is the top pick.
200 card.
Yeah.
So
It was a well deserved card. He was what, a 214, a 2E14.
2E14 at shortstop. He also stole 40 bases.
Yep. And his card this year is terrible.
He's not on
He's like a 330 defensively or something along those lines.
We thanked him by cutting him as well.
Yeah.
J Ram stole 30 for me, but he was welcome back with open arms. Who doesn't want a switch hitting 25 homer, 30 stolen base, third base? Of course. So who the hell doesn't want that?
That's what Kevin needs, more speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love speed.
But yeah.
It's an oxymoron.
Yes,
it's exactly what I don't have. So as a baseball player, my philosophy was hit the ball as far as possible so I don't have to run fast.
Yeah. And I've always seemed to come around like the 2 or 3 mark in this league in stolen bases, and I like that I'm going to get back to more speed this year compared to last year where my team stole
Bring
bases.
it on,
But
bitches. Everybody wants to tell me every day to beat me out. Let's go.
the champ's got some speed, especially if Ruiz is going to play a lot. He's a AA.
I could have as much as a AA, 3 A's, and 2 B's in my lineup.
Against righties.
I don't know. You know me, I just keep them in there forever.
Yeah, good point.
So
you're not like me who micromanages, right?
Oh yeah, you. Bill said, Logan Webb, fact, he is considered legally blind.
Really?
Is he? You're not like that just in strap. Like in real life, legally blind. I can 7-inning pitcher.
Bill, just so you know, we looked at his card. Solid card for Logan Webb.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys some brief recaps over our head. Logan Webb's card was really solid, Bill. You're going to be really happy with a couple of the other starters. Corbin Burns has a really solid card. Tariq Skubal is good. Yeah. So there's a thing about Tariq Skubal is nobody's going to get a hit off of him because he basically has nothing on his card, Bill.
Zero
against lefties.
Get on. Not even a 6-2 walk.
Yes,
Zero
nothing against lefties. And I think he has 4 ways against righties, Bill.
Yes.
So you making that type of movement late in the season before the trade deadline was
you're welcome.
brilliant.
You're welcome.
Skubal, hands down, from what I've seen so far, is going to be the best pitcher in our league on paper.
I already know the headlines. Taking me to school. Oh. School ball.
But yeah, Skubal's card, phenomenal, Bill. You're going to absolutely love that with him, Logan Webb. We haven't gotten to the full Max Scherzer card yet. No, Max Scherzer's not on our team anymore. I'm sorry, that's on Scooter. He's on Scooter, Bill. Jordan Montgomery, we're waiting for his full card as well. So we got a couple more to go through, but you got some good starters locked up, and your bullpen has looked pretty decent so far as well.
Absolutely. And then I think there was only one. Alonso took the OPS title. DeGrom and Strider took the strikeout title,
And DeGrom won his 6th straight Cy Young.
5 straight.
Going for 6. He's going for 6.
Christian Javier Merrill-Kelly led the league with 11 wins each. Helsley and Edwin Diaz led the league with 18 saves each.
Yep.
Reliever of the year was Diaz, who then took a shit in the bed in the playoffs. Let's see. Minor league team of the year was the Roswell Grays, the affiliate of the world champion Chandler Diamondbacks. Richie, the manager of the Chandler Diamondbacks, was manager of the year. I think that was pretty much all the.
I'm just staring at a card right now.
And then the 2 Cal Ripken Ironman Awards
was shared between 2
first basemen, Yandy Diaz and Paul Goldschmidt, 2 first basemen that played all 66 games.
And we had at least 5 or 6 players that played 65 of the 66 as well. By the way, I'm just sitting here and I've got some teams separated in front of me, and there's one card that I'm just staring at, and I'm like, why? Corey Seager. And I'm like, why is his card so good right now? And I say why because he hit like 330, but like
Corey Seager, 327, 33 homers, 96 RBIs, 42 doubles. Doesn't walk, but he also doesn't strike out. He had 477 at bats. He had over 500 plate appearances. Only struck out 88 times.
And Robbie, just so you know, his 1-4, 1-5, 1-6 are all spelled out against righties.
Yeah, which is insane. The fact he had a 623 slugging and a 390 on base average. So you know that's nutty. I don't know if using the pad here is going to be able to show it, but yeah, his one column against righties: 1-3 single, 1-4, 1-5, 1-6 home run, 1-7 double, 1-8 double, 1-12 single. The infamous power column 1-9 out,
but it's a 1-9 ground ball advance.
See, so double advance, and then 1-10 is a home run, 1 double the rest, and then he also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible guaranteed ways to get on the 3 column. And it's a little bit more of the same against lefties, just not as much home runs, but there was some of it was replaced with doubles.
Yeah.
So and he's a 3E12, very, very usable
at shortstop. Compared to last year, he was a higher.
Considering that you have 3 shortstops that batted under 220, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So all right. So going into 2024, you know, we had a couple of things that we got to make sure that people remember when it comes to like the rules, the 2 outs, runners in motion, making sure that you take the correct arms off the outfielders. You take 1 away when the runners are in motion with 2 outs on contact. When the runners are in forced positions, runner on first, runners on first and second, or the bases loaded. Also, we got to remember this year that when there is a wild pitch followed by a strikeout on the 3rd out, it's not the inning over. The batter reaches first base on the wild pitch, but it's a strikeout plus WP, and the inning continues.
So it's a strikeout for the batter, but the inning does.
So you can strike out 4 guys in an inning. So I'm determined for DeGrom to strike out 5 in 1 inning.
But the pass ball followed by foul out does not change it.
Just same thing, because the pass ball does make runners advance and then the out. So we are good there. Then there was one other thing that we said rules wise, we said we need.
We were just talking about regular outfield arms. So right field to third base standard, you got to take away an arm from the right fielder. If you're going left field to third base, you add an arm. Left field to home, you add an arm.
But of course, if the runners are in motion,
that cancels it out. But we're just talking about with not 2 outs, just a regular.
No, there was something else too. We said we needed to make sure we were doing.
We can also review while we're thinking of that, we can review the new Ohtani rule for John and Broad Street Bats. Shohei Ohtani can now officially stay in after he's been removed as a pitcher. Mm-hmm. So if he's starting, he is removed as a pitcher. He can still stay in as a designated hitter.
But, John, if he's not in the game as a DH and he's pitching and you take him out, you can't pinch hit later in the game.
Yes.
So let's not make that mistake.
Let's not get him suspended again.
Yeah.
We had a couple of the rule things, and I can't think of them off the top of my head. I'm sure we'll
have it written down for the first week of the season,
which is March 9th.
Yep.
9 a.m. We were playing 6 games, 2 3-game series. Those and the entire 2024 schedule is on the website under the general league
the GM portal. So I know none of yous. For a fact, I know none of yous went and looked at the schedule because I changed the password and not one of yous had asked me for the new password. So I was on it 2 days ago. Password was fine. Went on yesterday when I was here. I was like, "Oh, Kevin, password's incorrect." He goes, "Yeah, that's how I know nobody checked the websites."
I created the schedule, so I know what the schedule looks like. So, so everybody,
You're all busted.
you're all busted. Contact Kevin for the new password.
Yes. Yes. It's Chino was here. No, I'm just kidding. So, as everybody knows that we're trying to recruit 2 more teams for next season, so we can go to a 4-team per division, 3-division league. So we would have the Jackie Robinson Memorial National League, the Mickey Mantle Memorial American League, and the Tony Gwynn Memorial Central. So yesterday, this is not official. This
This was just a fun little thing that we did
around. So we kept the Surge in the National League because they won the division. They had the best record and they won the division, represented the World Series. And then the Herminators, who won their division with the best record, but the D-backs won the division going to the World Series. So those 2 teams stayed in the AL. The Surge stayed in the NL. The other, so it'd be 9 teams.
7 plus 7
2.
plus 2 expansion which we just
listed expansion 1, expansion 2.
Yep.
So those 9 teams went into a pool to realign the division.
Just for
Okay.
fun. This is not.
It's not official.
There's nothing.
The
official.
only rules that happen here is that the expansion teams can't wind up in the same division. That's the only rule, which didn't happen.
Which didn't happen, which was great.
So the divisions, using the same app random wise that we did with the draft picks and the future picks and all that fun stuff. So the American League, which started off with the Herminators and the Diamondbacks,
Yep.
were joined by the Broad Street Bats and one of the expansion teams, expansion 2, we'll call it.
So it would be Richie, Robbie, John, and an expansion team. Which would, to me, that's a fun division.
There'd be so much shit talking going on. Richie would probably wind up shooting them. Easily shooting them both.
Yep.
Then in the Central, we had the Middletown Bearded Bandits, the New Jersey Killers, First United Cobra Kai, and the Leonardo Lightning.
Which is just a ridiculous division.
And unfortunately, Jessica, who's probably watching, would not be happy, but the Surge remain in the division along with the Scooterville Saints, the Phoenix Dragons,
And an
expansion team. So
Jess has one rule when it came to the expansion, whenever we have it, is that she wants out of Kevin's division. Jess, that did not happen in this trial run through.
unless you drop your team and come, unless you drop your Toronto Blue Jays team.
Jess, we did the whole AL, and so the last team that we went through was Toronto, and we came to the conclusion that you need to move out of Toronto and explore other teams in the Major League Baseball.
It was like Scooterville.
I have like 2,
And you drafted one more too, so that was
who was the one that you drafted?
Jordan Hicks.
Jordan Hicks was the last with the newest addition.
So that was actually quite humorous.
Yes. But yeah, that was just a fun little thing that we did last night, just for shits and giggles. We just wanted to see what it would be like based off of this year. But obviously, who knows what the playoffs and the regular season champs are going to be this year. But that's how the rules go. Whoever wins the regular season automatically stays. Whoever makes this the World Series from that division stays. And then
Unless it's the same
team, and then it's just one team that stays. And then from there, it's a free for all.
Yeah. I as much high anxiety watching that thing flip, waiting for the team name to appear.
Yeah.
It's just like high anxiety.
And even if you're a team that's staying in your division, just the anxiety of watching that spin and figuring out who's going to be in your division, it just makes it so much fun. Whenever we do expand, hopefully
Stress is fun.
it is. Hopefully we do expand next year, and if we do, it's going to be something so beyond fun waiting to figure out who's in who's.
Yeah, and we're definitely I'm not expecting everybody. Obviously, if we can do it on draft day, that'd be great. But I know people would probably want to know before draft day. So
I think we could do it.
I think we could stream it.
Yeah, like a couple weeks before draft day or something.
Like I'm gonna find a possible way to have it on a split screen, so you'll see us and then you'll see the app doing its thing on the other.
But it's something that we're hoping to be able to put into motion going into 2025. Obviously, this year we were looking forward to it. The year before we were looking forward to it, and just year after year, one thing or another happens. But we're still in the process. We're marketing the league a lot, and we're really trying to put forth the effort to get 2 new teams in for 2025.
Yeah, we joined specifically a New Jersey Stratomatic club, where it's all New Jersey players, and a lot of them are looking for face-to-face leagues if they're only in computer leagues, or additional face-to-face leagues, especially if they're playing because a lot of the computer leagues, they play like multiple times a week.
Yeah.
Where we only meet once a month. So to them, that's like, all right, once a month, that's great, because I play twice a week with my computer league. And then plus the amount of Facebook groups that we're in, and I would say the last ad that I put up when I made that graphic, we got a lot of email replies and inquiries.
I had a Facebook message. I haven't gotten a reply to my reply yet, but we're putting forth the effort. Again, we're still only in February right now.
Every time we explain it to somebody, like even at Strat this morning when we were online, we were talking about our league and about how we have minimum requirements for plate appearances for the first 5 rounds, and then what that was, and then what it drops down to round 6 on. But if you have below 360 up to 100, you're prorated based on a 66 game season. They're like, oh my god, that's great.
Yeah.
So you can't use a ringer like every
JD Drew, which was hilarious.
Yeah, which he brought that up. He was like, oh my god, you can't do the JD Drew, and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I had JD Drew that year, and then he was like, remember Shane Spencer? And I was like, oh my god, that's Shane Spencer. I said Shane Spencer didn't even have a name on his card.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous number. He had like 6 spelled out home runs in the 3 column. But yeah, that was then we started getting into the if you weren't in a players union, you didn't get a name on card. And then Barry Bonds copywriting his name, he wasn't on a card.
Yeah.
So we started going the other way. But yeah, it was a good morning. We've seen some of the same people that we saw last year. Saw a couple new people. We got to witness. He wasn't there in attendance, but Keith Hernandez was inducted into the Stratomatic
Hall of Fame, which is really cool. Keith put out a video, which is on the Stratomatic website, and then I also personally shared it to my
I'm
Facebook
sure it's on
page.
Stratomatic's
Twitter as well. I didn't get to fully watch the whole thing.
Formerly of WFAN was there. So it was he didn't leave the fan, did he?
No, I don't think
he might still do that.
Yeah.
I listened to the fan on the car ride with Nick for the first time in
a while.
Yeah. I never listened to sports radio. They drive me bananas. It was like if I want wrong sports information, I'll just call Jonathan.
John, how's Victor Carantini doing for you, John?
It's fixed. It's fixed. That's Shadow God's fixed.
All right. I think we can go into
winners and losers of the draft. It's not really winners and losers.
Gradings.
I did gradings from A to D, which you guys know I do this every year, so please don't get upset and butthurt by my opinion. And it's based on before I even seen the cards, which, to be honest with you, after I've seen the cards, my opinion is really not going to change much. So don't be upset. Take this as a learning experience. You named one other commissioner that also plays in the league that is willing to help every single manager get better.
Yep.
And that's what I want, because I want everybody to have fun. I want everybody to have a chance. Shit, I want everybody to kick my ass. I really do. Yeah, I don't like losing, but you know what? If you're winning, you're happy, you're staying. And you're trying to help us get more people to grow. They have the same teams win every year. The same teams play the World Series every year. It's not good for business. So I want everybody to be proactive, and anybody, if you need help, you let me know. And if not, just, hey, can you send me a stat sheet? No, ask me questions.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Kev, what do you look at? What specifically do you look at when you do your stat sheet? What categories do you add? What ratios do you think are better between walks and strikeouts, and then walks per strikeout, and extra base hits per plate appearance, like stuff like that.
And I know Richie asked me a lot of questions, like prior to the draft, during the draft, about like what do I look for, what are my things, and I said I look at stuff that nobody else should ever look at when it comes to stats because I'm a psychopath. But besides that, but no, ask Kevin, ask me. Kevin knows a lot more than I do.
Dude, I was creating Excel sheets for stats.
Yeah,
When these websites didn't even exist.
yeah.
Okay, the only thing when we were playing Strat way back in the day when the internet was still rather new, like AOL and all that stuff, I made a Excel sheet and I formulated every single statistical category. And every game, if you had 30 at-bats, I'd go in and I'd add 30 at-bats to the number there, and I went all the way across. And it did all the math for me because I formulated it. And then what I would do is I would copy the entire freaking grid and then paste it on Word, and then get the Word fucking document and get the HTML code and then paste the HTML code on the website so the document would show up on the thing. And I would have to do that back then, 12 teams. So I would have to do that for 12 teams, not only do their stats manually, but update 12 web pages, and everybody's page, everybody had a team page. So like, we have a team page with our stats.
Yeah.
Well, their team page had logos, videos, music. Every team had their own song.
What was this, Facebook?
It was way before MySpace and all that other crap.
That's what I meant, MySpace.
Yeah, it was way before any of that crap. It was actually Netscape, and it was a lot of work, but that's what I did. I was coding. I liked doing that. It was fun. Like people even ask me, they're like, "Oh, you use league lineup?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "How do you get your categories bold?"
Oh yeah.
Pro-rated players bold with the underline, and I'm like, "It's coding. Got to know the coding." And I'm like, "Just Google it." It's so accessible now. Back then, it wasn't accessible because people wanted to get paid for that information. They're like, "You want code cheat sheets? You want code this? You want?" No. You got to pay me for that. I used to use a program called Coffee Cup. It was an HTML program, which I freaking loved. And then I would also go into Netscape Editor, and I would make my entire page, upload it to Netscape, and then right-click, get view page source, get the whole code, and then I'd paste it to the website. Because if you posted it on AOL, it would look different than it would on Netscape and Internet Explorer. It was just the code would be perfectly straight on Netscape, and then it would be like weirdly jumbled on AOL. It's so different like with social media now. They can grade all the resolutions on photos. I always tell people, do not print from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They just for storage purposes, they cut down on the resolutions of your videos and your photos. So always print from the original. So we'll do the first three, the top three, but I'll let you go. I'll leave mine here for
just so I can remember teams and stuff like that. Yeah, forever. I'm totally fine starting where you started at the top because I totally agree. I have my draft sheet up here. 100%. First team that I want to talk about is the Phoenix Dragons, my division. Team with the first overall pick in the draft.
And don't let us down again this year like last year.
Come on, Annie, you got this. Annie took Kyle Bradish with the first overall pick in the draft. Phenomenal pick. I thought Bradish was the best available starter that wasn't going to be prorated.
And now keep in mind, she came back with Joe Musgrove, Tyler Wells, and Nathan Eovaldi. So she already had those three pitchers coming into the draft, and she had the number one pick.
And then she took Cutter Crawford in the 7th, who wasn't prorated, and she came back in the 6th. She took the only prorated starter that was there with the first overall pick in the 6th with Yuri Perez. So she added to Musgrove, Wells, and Eovaldi with, in my mind, 3 of the top 7 pitchers available in this draft with Bradish, Perez, and Cutter Crawford. That alone, by itself, would warrant at least a B draft right there.
Now, for people watching, obviously the people in our league now, but people watching who are not in our league or are going to be watching this later on, we draft before the cards come out.
Yes.
We drafted January 27th.
Yes, 27th. Yes.
Okay. So we always draft in January. The cards come out in February, and then we pick them up in February, obviously. So we don't have knowledge of the cards. So we're relying heavily on our experience of playing the game, ratios, percentages, to use an educated guess of how we think the card should portray the statistics. Also, you can pick my brain, and I'm usually about, I'm not going to be a bullshit honest, I'll say about 85% accurate on my guesses.
You're pretty accurate.
So, yeah, especially defensive wise, I'm pretty accurate. But as far as like card layout, I'm pretty accurate. Defensive wise, I'm usually nailed right to the wall. Like sometimes it's scary. But yeah, I mean, getting back to Phoenix, I'll add a couple things that I threw out on here too. She also came back with a bullpen of Emmanuel Clase, Raciel Iglesias, Hector Neris, and Devin Williams.
Which by itself, those four could just year after year she could run with just a 4-man bullpen, even though it's not legal in this league. She could rock with a 4-man bullpen and a random Joe Schmo and lock down.
Happened to pick 2 Joe Schmoes. Joe Jimenez and Joe Mankiewicz.
I didn't even mean
so. And she also took Nick Sandlin.
Sandlin. But on top of that, she shored up her outfield defense. I just have the cards in front of me because Phoenix is right in front of me. She got Kevin Kiermaier, who stud. He's a one
career year.
And again, we do this. We draft before the cards come out. We look at the cards today. Kevin Kiermaier is a 1-2 E4 in center. He's got 12 on bases against right. He's got 12 more against left. He's a ceiling B, 1-15 running, hit and run C, which is a great card.
People don't remember Kevin Kiermaier. I think it was 2 years ago. He was a 1-5 E1 in center field.
I think it was the Kobe year. Actually, I think it was 2000.
But he had like 3 hits total on the entire card. It was, and he had them then too.
Yeah. I'm upset with last. Kiermaier's a guy that I really wanted to target.
Dog shit, but she used them, and then when we have roster expansion, she brought him up for defense. But
on top of that, she drafted guys like Heimer Candelario,
Max Kepler. She also right field, who's also a 1 in right field.
Yep. And then also she brought back. She also drafted Alec Bohm for third base, Brandon Drury for first and second, Nolan Gorman as a DH. On top of already having Trey Turner, Nico Horner, Luis Arias, Mike Trout, Paul Goldschmidt. She is stacked.
And you said we drafted JD Martinez and Jordan Walker.
Oh, JD Martinez and Jordan Walker. I didn't even mention. Yeah.
And Kerry Carpenter.
So
some big battles.
Also traded for Sal Perez to team up with Yan Gomes.
Sal Perez, not surprisingly, catching wise, he's 4-0. 4-1. Low E rating, but he's also a first base
3E6.
Yeah. So if Sal Perez has better numbers against lefties than Goldschmidt, she goes with Sal at first base. Goldschmidt comes in for defense later. I mean, it's
because Goldschmidt did have a down year.
I think she also drafted Norman. He was another big bopper.
She has a lot of options for DH, which I think is a great problem.
She brought back Yan Gomes, who had a really good year, very good defensively with a good arm, and then Austin Wynn.
Yep.
Who again?
Prorated catcher.
I called that, and I said he's gonna be a sleeper catcher, and he was it 3-2 E1?
Who was it?
Austin Wynns.
We didn't get to his card.
Yeah,
he's
we looked at
additional set. Yeah.
I'm almost positive he was a 3-2 E1.
E1, something like that. Yeah.
So, and then for the first time we did a prospect draft. Which that meant was when the draft was over, everybody got to draft one guy. Can't use them. You hold them with the hopes that he becomes somebody next year. The only qualifications was that he couldn't qualify for a card in our league,
which is 100 plate appearances.
Right. So he had to have 99 plate appearances or less, but he could have played one game.
He had to have played one.
So, like, he could have appeared in the game at 0 at-bats. As long as he had one game played, which means he might have played an inning for defense. It didn't matter. And she got, again, the number one pick, which was a random pick.
It wasn't the same order as the regular draft. We randomly did it, and she got the first overall pick.
She took
Evan Carter,
Texas Rangers stud
outfielder.
Yep, Evan Carter. So she's already possibly set up next year with an absolute stud of a left fielder.
Which to have Evan Carter, She has Brandon Nimmo, who we didn't mention. If Mike Trout has any type of bounce back year offensively, even if he only has 350 plate appearances, on top of having Mike Yastrzemski, Kevin Kiermaier, Max Kepler, she's setting herself up long term to really, really succeed in a really tough division. Like I said, she's in the American League with myself, Richie, Robbie, and Bill. She's in a tough division who's won 3 straight World Series, by 3 different managers. So listen, are we going to go 4 for 4 this year? And is Annie or Bill going to win it all? Kevin, you're not, or I think so. I think Kevin's going to lose the 3rd straight World Series. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but But I think Kevin and I agree on the sense that we give Annie and the Phoenix Dragons the same grade when it comes to the draft, and that's an A. I don't think she could have nailed this draft any better. And I'm just going solely off of pitching right now. Getting 3 of the top 7 in my mind on my spreadsheet and my list for starting pitchers. She got 3 of the top 7 in Bradish, Yuri Perez, and Cutter Crawford.
Yep. And yeah, and she's got to decide. Now she's got 6 guys. You decide who the top 5 is.
I think those 3 definitely need to be in.
Me personally, I really haven't detailed the cards, but she could easily go with Yuri, Bradish, Cutter Crawford, Musgrove, Evaldi, and Tyler Wells as a starter reliever, and he can slide right in there and be a long man in case of extra inning games. Yuri Perez is prorated. So use Yuri for 4 innings, bring Tyler Wells in for 2 or 3 innings. Boom. Bridge the gap right to you. That huge bullpen that she's got.
Yeah. Bridge that gap.
And if she does something like that with Yuri Perez, he doesn't have to miss a start the entire year. So it's huge. So,
she's setting herself up very well. I happen to be playing Phoenix Series 2 in month 1. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to get her 4-5-1 starter. So I expect to have a little fun with probably Joe Musgrove and Evaldi, and then maybe Bradish.
who knows?
What order?
Most likely Yuri's going to be the number 5 guy.
So yeah, I'll have fun with Yuri Perez in the number 5 spot. I'll be ecstatic about that.
If you're a prorated guy, you want to keep him 5.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you keep him at 4 innings and then piggyback with Tyler Wells at each start.
My guess is they'll probably get Musgrove, Perez, and then Bradish as the 4-5-1. That's probably who I'm going to end up facing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the middle infield that's the most, like, to me, like, what is she going to do? She's got Trey Turner at shortstop, who is a 3 this year.
At E-rating.
Okay. She has Nico Horner, who is a stud at short and second base. And she's got the defending back-to-back batting champion, Luis Arise, at second base, who is a 3 this year, which is his best defense he's ever had.
3 E. It's a low E rating too.
Better than what he was. He's been a 4.
I think it's like a 3 E10 or something like that, which is phenomenal for him.
So I mean, Trey Turner could be on the bench.
And he's a AA. So I think keeping him on the bench is the right move and not the minors, because that's a great guy to be able to pinch hit late in the game.
Nico Horner's an A. He's got speed.
Yep.
Luis Arise can hit the ball. Like we looked at
his whole three column against righties is 2 through 12 is a hit. Yeah. There's not usually you'll get like a 2-2's an out and a 2-12 is a split.
All 11
Every
hits.
Single one is a hit. It's I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I've seen that with walks. Never seen it with singles.
I've had secondary columns of walks.
Except there was one year with Randy Milligan. He had I think it was a 2 column where he had a hit every single one, and one of them was an injury.
And then he had the 3 column for Arias is all singles. The 1 column, top half of the 1 column is where the extra base hits are.
Yeah, and he has power and shit because he actually did hit 10 home runs.
Power, but he only has a home run 1 to 2, double the rest against lefties. That's it. But he has end power on both sides.
Yep. So a lot to work with.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens again, because we felt she won the draft last year, and she missed the playoffs. And the number 1 pick.
And I think her draft is even better than it was last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially looking at these cards now. I know we did the review after we got the cards last year as well, and looking at some of our cards, I was underwhelmed with some of the pitchers that we thought were going to be good that ended up not being. This year, it's different for the fact that the pitchers that she drafted, we looked at them and we're like, yes, this is the way these cards were supposed to be, and it ended up being that way on paper as well.
Yep, I agree. Okay, move on to the second rating. The Jersey Shore Surge.
Yeah.
Gave them an A-. Well, I gave them an A-. A lot of factors went into the draft. Jersey traded away during the year the second round pick to obtain Justin Verlander. Then went into the draft seeking second round picks, and they did that. They traded Verlander away with Jose Siri for a second and 12th round pick to the Broad Street Bats, and then flipped that 12th and 10th round pick to Phoenix for Dustin May. Also traded Sal Perez away for a second round pick. So now they went into the draft with the first overall pick in the second round and the fourth overall pick in the second round, which was great. And we'll get into what was taken there. I will say that I had a game plan from the beginning when it came to the draft. I even left myself a little note on the side of my notepad. Anytime I maybe got frustrated or I wanted to impulsively do something, it just said, yo, stick to the game plan.
Yep.
And I read it like 6 times, but I did stick to the game plan. I took Nick Pivetta, probably not the sexiest looking guy because, people pay way too much attention to ERA.
Yeah.
Nick Pivetta, number 1, which I was 9th overall. And he had a huge strikeout rate, very good whip, low walk rate, low hits per 9-inning rate.
His card's not bad. The right side is locked down. The only bad roll, there's a couple random walks, 6-5 home run, 1-5 double the rest. So it ended up being good on the right side. The left side's a little concerning. Left side, you have a 6-3 spelt out home run, 6-5 spelt out home run, and 6-6, 1-16 double the rest. So there's a little concern on the left side, but overall, with a strikeout pitcher like that,
A lot of strikeouts.
a lot of strikeouts. If you could really avoid those, really like even the right side, you don't mind the 6-5 roll as long as you're rolling 6+. You're really only going to be looking against lefties to avoid three numbers. And I want to compare that almost to Lockport's Garrett Cole card last year, who had 2 spelt out home runs on each side. And I don't think Garrett Cole had anybody roll that against him almost all season.
No, I did a couple.
You did a couple times, but like where those were, they were on 9 and 11 and like
also
5 and 9.
Browns card. Against righties, that was 4-9 spelled out, 4-11 spelled out, 4-12 was a split home run double.
Yep.
Against lefties, it was 4-9, 4-10, 4-11 split.
Yeah.
And then 4-12 was a split.
And it's lower too. It's 3.
Most of his home runs given up with solo home runs.
Yeah.
And they came off of batter's cards. A couple of times I remember people rolling the end home run spelled out, and their guy was weak.
Yeah.
So
and the 6-3 one, really, it's whatever. 6-3 is almost, in my mind, 6-3, 6-2. If there's something there, cool, whatever. If you roll it, good for you. The 6-5, 6-6, obviously you want to worry about, but like overall, I'll take a couple.
I'm not worried because there's 33 possible rolls on the side of that card.
The math works.
You have to roll it.
If the math rolls it, then so be it.
Yeah. So I'm not really worried. Now, my second pitcher taken in the 5th round, Tanner Bibby,
Not so much.
not so much. We're not even going to get into his card because it's dog shit. He's my Michael Kopech.
Michael Kopech of this year.
Okay. We also took John Bravia, who was a starter reliever.
Ended up being a starter 1, relief 1.
And I also brought back aforementioned Dustin May, Merrill Kelly, and Jacob DeGrom. So the rotation is still solid. And Callers with Dome was brought back to be in the minors, and his card wound up not even being as bad as his season was.
So he might end up being instead of Bibby. You never know.
Who knows? As far as the bullpen, the only guy I brought back was Robertson, and then I just added strikeout arms. Lefty Angel Perdomo, righty Kirby Yates, Jimmy Cordero, we haven't seen yet. Jesse Chavez, haven't seen yet. Ryan Brashear,
Haven't seen
we
yet.
haven't seen his full card yet.
Yep.
Kevin Kelly, we saw a good card.
Yep.
and Aroldis Chapman.
Which we were thinking it was going to be a lot worse than it is. Don't get me wrong. It's 10 walks on the card.
The total.
Not 9 walks total, but it's 4, 6 through 9, 5, 3, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 2, 6, 6. That's against lefties. That's it.
There's no
Hits. No hits. Right side, it's 4, 7, 4, 9 walk, 5, 2, 1 to 5 single out the rest, 5, 3 walk. 5, 5 is the only hit on any side, double 1 to 5 single the rest, and then a 6, 2, 6, 6 walk. You're going to take that for a strikeout. It's literally walks and strikeouts on the entire card. Definitely thought it was going to be a lot worse. I thought it was going to be more centralized, where almost like a Shohei Ohtani versus lefties last year, where the whole column is full. I don't mind it spread out like that. And I think the card actually looks really good. And he's a closer too. So I mean, you can make it work with a closer too.
Absolutely. And then I went out, outfield wise. I went out, got myself Jason Hayward to face right-handed pitching, which means Mookie Betts is going to see some time at second base.
Yep.
Which is really well against righties. Mookie Betts could move to right field against lefties.
Yep.
Don't know really. Mookie Betts' card we mentioned earlier is freaking spectacular.
Yeah.
Esteury Ruiz I took in the second round, as well as my second pick
Overall.
No, he was my second round pick. My first second round pick was Jason Hayward, which I severely needed because I had I had Riley Green as my only retained center fielder. I needed that every day center fielder with some pop, some speed, with an arm. And I got that with Outman, and he's a guy that can easily go 20-20 every year.
Yeah.
Speaking about 2020, Tommy Pham I picked up.
Yep.
That's pick.
One of those guys, the aforementioned guys that we mentioned before, speaking about guys with bad E ratings that we weren't expecting. Ruiz and Pham. Ruiz is an E11 in the outfield, and Pham is an E9 in the outfield. So those were a couple of many, not just from Kevin's team, that we looked at and were like, wow, these E ratings are concerning.
Yeah, it was bad. Gallo's card is Gallo. I mean, it is Joey Gallo, but he's a 2 in the corner outfield, and he's a very good 2E6 at first base.
2E6 at first, and a 2E9 in the outfield, minus one arm. Yeah,
and a 3 in center.
Yeah.
So, he's a backup corner outfielder, backup first baseman. I have Yandy Diaz, American League batting champion at first base. I'm not really worried about it. And all my defense from last year that came over improved. So I absolutely can't complain about it. I picked up guys like Adam Duvall for versatility for the corner outfield, DJ LeMahieu and Nicky Lopez for middle infield. Brought in Orlando Arcia as a backup shortstop to Wander Franco, who has a very nice card. Shortstop 1, A stealing.
Gonna be his last year in the league, but
Elias Diaz I picked up in the third round as my catcher. And he'll be facing the right-handed pitching, and then William Contreras, who is the best defensive card he's ever had, 2-1.
E1, right?
Yep, E1. Well, he was an E1 last year, but he was a 3.
Mm-hmm.
3 plus 1.
Plus 1 last year.
So he's a 2-1, E1, and he'll be batting against lefties with another catcher that would be like DH, Luis Campusano, who only batted .408 against lefties last year.
Only .408.
So yeah, and then James McCann, who wound up being my fourth catcher, and he's a 2-3 E5 or something.
No, it was even better. It was like an E3. It was much better because I had him years ago, and he always had a really bad E rating, but his E rating was really impressive this year too. So I think he was a 2-3 E3 or something.
So you put that all together. You got deep starting pitching. You got power arms in the bullpen. Very versatile players like Nicky Lopez and DJ LeMahieu, who played 3 positions each, and each of them played very well. Third base 2E2,
which is not an actual E rating. So
DJ LeMahieu, I mean, that's I hope that maybe that's a typo. I guess we'll find out.
It is, yeah.
That's nuts. And then all my Yandy Diaz improved to a first base 2. I had Jose Ramirez at third base. Wander Franco is now shortstop 1. Riley Green's at 3 everywhere in the outfield. William Contreras is improved to a 2-1 behind the plate. trying to think who else. John Birdie plays like 5 different positions.
Yeah.
Brent Rooker, huge
Nice
power
bat.
guy off the
Yeah,
bat.
nice bat.
Justin Turner, who had a great year with Boston last year.
Yeah.
He returned.
His card's not bad either.
So, all in all, the team filled its needs. And sometimes it's an embarrassment of riches.
And Kev gave Jersey Shore his own team, but he gave Jersey Shore an A. I have no problem saying A- for Jersey Shore.
No, yeah, A-.
You said A-?
Yeah.
Oh, A-. Oh, perfect. Give him the same grade. So yeah, I say A- for Jersey Shore. You filled the needs that you needed. You went with power arms in the bullpen because bullpen arms did fly off very quickly, and you didn't reach for guys. Just like you, I really focused myself on sticking to the plan.
Yeah.
And my plan, like yours, was not to reach for certain relievers when a lot of those big relief arms went off the board very early. So I think A- is very well deserved there.
We got next in line. We got Scooterville Saints at a B+.
Yep.
I'm very blunt on my quotes. Replaced some dead weight in the pitching ranks with the additions of Chris Sale, who went number 1 for her, Aaron Savali, who went number 2, Colin Ray at number 14, Domingo Herman at number 11, and she had returning pitchers Spencer Strider, Freddie Peralta, and Tyler Molly, who most likely will be in a rotation. And then she has in the minors Christian Javier and Max Scherzer, who she hopes, bounces back from some injuries and has a better year. Which he didn't have a terrible year at Texas.
No,
everything just shitted up in New York. She had returning bullpen arms, David Bednar coming off a career year,
which I don't think I looked at it.
Taylor Rogers, who's just a shutdown left against lefties. Jordan Romano had a decent year.
Yep.
Last year was a little better, but he still had a decent year. Eric Swanson has a nice card. And then she took Henry Scott, who has really rewatched that. Like he could be the closer.
Yeah, Henry Scott.
His card. He's got almost like a couple of years ago the Brad Hand lefty card, where he had a couple of walks and then just tons of strikeouts.
Yeah, really, really solid card for Tanner. And Tanner's got a good year overall. His stats were good.
The Brad Hand COVID card.
Yep. And I thought his card was going to be good. Tanner Scott's card was going to be good, but it's better than what I would have thought.
It was definitely the 3 pick was a 3 pick.
Yeah,
that was nice. She took Kevin Ginkel, number 7,
a guy that I think was on everybody's radar.
He was on that round. And she drafts Frankfurt for me. Yeah. And then she goes, "This guy available?" I'm like, "F you." Which is fine. I mean, Kevin Ginkel had a really good year, and he's young, and the guy is fearless.
Yeah,
if you see him in the playoffs, the guy's fearless.
And just since Jess is watching, Jess, 2 walks and a double against lefties, 2 walks and a double and a half against righties. That's it.
Yeah,
great card.
And then you also drafted 2 other studs, Emilio Pagan at 9.
Great.
Who was a great card, and Dory Moretta at 16.
Who's a guy that I really wanted. I was picking him just like you with Ginkel. I was actually planning on.
And then Jordan Hicks, you took at 17, and this card is very usable. Toronto.
Yeah, another Toronto.
Of course, it's Toronto.
Jordan Hicks, right here. Let's just take a look at Jordan Hicks' card real quick. Right side's good, left side, bottom left side. That's just like the ground card we said.
4, 9, 11, 12, and then everything else is just a single walk, couple of walks, and lots of strikeouts.
No, sorry, never mind. That's the wrong person. That's Jordan Romano.
Oh,
I thought we grabbed. There, it said Jordan. It said Jordan.
Yeah, the other Jordan, not Michael. That one's even better.
Yeah.
So you have 4-11 single, 5-7 double split single, 6-3 home run to 13 out the rest, 6-5 home run to 8 out the rest, 6-6 single 1, 6-9 single. That's against the lefty. Against the righty, 4-2, 4-12 walk, 5-2 walk, 5-7 double, 1-7 single, 6-3 single, 6-5 home run 1 double, 6-6 single 1 to 5, 6-7 walk, and tons of freaking strikeouts
in the middle of the columns.
And
he's a closer 4.
He's a closer 4. So that in the 17th round is a steal.
Real steal.
Steal. Like he could be your closer if you don't want to use Tanner Scott to close. You want Tanner Scott to set up.
Yep.
You got freaking military grade bullets coming out of that bullpen.
Listen, the two ladies in this league have good bullpens.
That's not even counting Pagan, Moretta, Ginkle, the fact that she has Swanson, Bednar,
Yep.
and Rogers.
Yep.
Sure, I have. Yikes. Yeah. She then drafted in the 6th round Patrick Bailey, who has a very nice card. I think it was a 1-3.
1-3, low E rating, hits lefties well. We haven't gotten to his.
No, hits righties.
Hits righties well.
He is lefty.
Yes. No, he's a switch hitter.
Is-
Switch hitter.
I think he hits righties better than lefties.
Yeah, that's fine. He hits one side better. Yeah.
Jose Trevino,
Coming back.
2-3. If I remember correctly.
That's 2, I think.
Check it out.
Yankees are.
Yankees are done.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I can't keep talking.
I'm almost positive that's a 2-3, sir.
-3 E3.
2-3 E3 for Jose Trevino. And she also has Mr. Carson Kelly.
Yeah, Carson Kelly.
He's a 2.
I can get to. No, we didn't get to Carson Kelly yet, did we?
Yeah, I knew
What team is he? We're all over the place right now. There's Emilio Pagan that we spoke about. No.
We saw it earlier. I
Yeah.
think he was a 2-1.
Yeah. Nope. We don't have it yet, I don't think. Unless it's like the last card that we're going to look at now. We don't have it.
Your Kirk is a 3+1, I think, or 2+1.
2+1.
2+1. So he's the odd man out of the 4. Kirk does have more offense than Kelly.
Kelly doesn't hit lefties at all.
But as a third catcher, he's fine. Kirk, you can use him as a guy who can't play the field, bat off the bench, or you just stick him in the minors.
Yeah.
Or somebody who might be looking for a DH or a pinch hitter, he might be trade bait. Let's see. Outfield defense. She had issues last year. She had a lot of 3s in the outfield last year. That was rectified with Rosarena. He's improved this year.
He's an E0, by the way, Jess.
Yeah, I think he's a 2.
2-1 E0.
She picked up Brendan Doyle, who we know is a center field 1. He won the Gold Glove as well. And then Springer has a nice card. He's still a 3.
He's an E0 as well.
But he's an E0.
She got E0s on the corners.
So also a nice upgrade in the E rating. Let's say good pickups with Ezekiel Tovar.
Yep.
And Michael Garcia.
Yep, Michael.
Who she took at number 5.
Michael Garcia? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I accidentally put the first. I might have actually put Michael Garcia in the wrong file. Just let me know. Yes, I did. I remembered it.
Wrong woman.
I remember. I put it in Annie's spot, but I remember, didn't I?
And then she went out and she drafted Marcell Ozuna at 3, which is a big bat. Carlos Santana not only is a big bat, but he's a first base 2. And Masataka Yoshida, another big bat. So she did very well improving her outfield defense. She did very well with you dragging everything with you.
No, good.
No.
We also did mark off Michael Garcia.
Obviously the starting pitching is a lot better, and the bullpen is nuts. And despite even having good catches last year, she had a really good catching core last year, but it's even better this year. And Patrick Bailey is a catcher of the future. So
yeah, and there was a lot, not a lot, but there was a handful of catchers that were drafted overall, whether they were the 2 catchers that went in the first round in Yanier Diaz and Gabriel Moreno, and there was a couple in the 6+ round range that are catchers of the future who may not have the best cards right now, but they're catchers that are really, really going to succeed later. You had Shea Langeliers, you had Logan O'Hoppe, you had Patrick Bailey, like I said, Moreno and Diaz. youth in the catcher position was really really showed out in this draft.
And then the kid on the supplemental squad was it Maley,
Luke Maley.
Luke
Luke
Maley,
Maley. Yeah.
who wound up being a 2.
Yeah.
So,
but overall, I think Scooterville had a great draft. I'm not gonna lie, what were the first couple picks for Scooterville? She had Sale
at 1, Cervali at 2, Tanner Scott at 3,
and then
I don't know.
She had 2 picks in the 3rd. Then she took Marcelo Ozuna, who was a great card.
Ozuna as well at 3.
4, she took. Did she have a 4th round? No, that was the Leonardo trade.
Yeah.
And then she drafted Michael Garcia in the 5th. I would give her. I'm actually going to stick with the A- there. I'm going to go a little bit higher than you. I'm going to go A- for Scooterville.
Okay.
And then Kevin went B+.
I went B+.
So I'm going to go A- because I think her first 5 picks with the 2 picks in the 3rd round, and then the pick in the 5th round. I'm going to go
Patrick Bailey in the 6th,
and then Patrick Bailey in the 6th. So yeah, I'm going to go A-.
Her first 10 rounds were probably her best 10 rounds as well, because she got Ginkle at 7.
Yeah.
Carlos Santana at 8, Pagano at 9.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a really, really, really productive draft.
Yeah, I agree.
To say the least. I mean, when you can get Jordan Hicks at 17, Domingo Herman at 11, Colin Ray at 14.
Yeah.
I mean, you Brenton Doyle at 13, Ezekiel Tovar at 15, and then Yoshida at 12. I mean, you're doing your homework.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't get as detailed. I just did the top 3, but we did grades. But
keep doing
we did the rest and why. So I had the Chandler Diamondbacks, the defending champs, coming up next. I gave them a B rating. Great first 5 rounds of the draft. Spencer Steer, Josh Young, 2 really good young third basemen. Pete Alonso, yes, he was available in the draft. I mean, that is some tremendous power off the bench or the DH spot to be able to pick up in the draft. C.J. Abrams, young power shortstop with wheels.
Another AA.
Yeah, you're talking 18 to 20 home run power, and you're talking 40+ stolen bases. Yeah. Yes, another AA. And he's getting better every year defensively, every year. Bryce Miller was the 5th pick. Another good pick for him. We saw his card briefly. It's good. And then, despite the low plate appearances because of the pro rating, round 6, really good pick in Johan Rojas.
Yeah,
from his 5th.
He's gonna be a guy that's gonna be able to play defense for him late in games.
Wasn't he 1 in center?
Yes.
Yeah.
Johan 1 with a good E rating. I don't remember what his arm is. It might be like a -1, but he's a guy who's gonna be able to play defense for him every game. He can start maybe a game every other series.
And then this, at first, when I wrote this, I was like, kind of sounds kind of mean, but we just had a conversation with Richie. So actually, he kind of feels the same way. I said most of the picks after that were a little underwhelming at times, kind of questionable. Like, did they really fit the team's needs? Bullpen picks were good, but did he fill the needs of the team?
Yeah.
And he even told us in person that he felt that he didn't do enough in the bullpen.
Yeah.
So, backup catchers, not really as good.
No, he does have one of the best catchers in the league in Cal Raleigh, who was his last pick last year.
Yeah.
His 4th catcher last year. He does have the starting pitcher though. He's got Luis Castillo, Kevin Gausman, George Kirby, Sonny Gray. On top of offensive guys like Kyle Tucker, Yordan Alvarez, Jeremy Pena. Draft. I know. Oh, Shane Bieber he kept as well. So
yeah, he's got arms. He added arms. He was just concerned about the bullpen, which I also said I don't know if he did enough with the bullpen. And I don't know if he did enough with the catchers. I mean, Alvarez was a smart pick, but he's a Francis +1.
Plus?
Yeah, +1. Cal Raleigh.
I think it was a 2-1. He's
Who was his other?
Seattle. Did we? We got to Seattle, right?
Who's his other catcher? Well, we didn't get do the National League yet, so
No, but Cal Raleigh's in here. 2-2.
2-.
2-2 E1.
Who's this? Did he not retain the catcher?
No, just Raleigh.
Just Raleigh?
Just Raleigh, and then he drafted Alvarez. Let me look.
He drafted a catcher, then released him, and then drafted
Carlos
another one.
Perez.
He drafted another one after that.
Yeah.
It was Lee.
I'm looking for Chandler, Tommy Canley, Andy Rodriguez, young Andy.
Yeah, we didn't get to him yet. But he's probably in a mix set because he's probably a low.
So he has Raleigh, he has Alvarez, he has Andy Rodriguez, and then he has. Did he grab one more? That was the 8th round. He got Strong. He got Johan Rojas. He got no. So I think he only has 3 catchers. So maybe backup catcher. He's going to be a little questionable in.
Yeah, I mean, look, you gotta hope that that Rodriguez is a solid.
But listen. He struck gold once with the last pick, being a catcher, a solid long-term catcher with Raleigh, and maybe he did it again with Andy Rodriguez.
You said Andy Rodriguez is a 2-3. Yeah, it's a set too. Remember?
Oh, 2-3. Okay.
Yep.
Right. So there's another arm for him. See, yeah, he just texted me as well.
So, yeah, I mean, outside of the bullpen, which he immediately said he doesn't know if he paid enough attention to that or got what he needed out of that. Yeah. His starting pitching is going to carry him, and he also has a very, very powerful lineup.
Yeah.
Which
won the World Series last year.
Yeah. And what won him last year was his bullpen. He won 3 World Series games, 3-2.
Yeah.
So his bullpen is the reason.
Yeah.
Oh, he also has Tyler Stevenson.
Yes. Oh, duh. It's Tyler Stevenson. So that's his 4th pick. He kept 2 catchers. Good point. Good point.
So that, yeah. So you know what? He's good. He's gonna have a very, very. I'm not going to say easy, but I'm going to say, to defend his title, I think he should be okay. You know what? You can make trades during the season.
And I think his bullpen.
You got teams like me that drafted 7 relievers, and you got other teams that drafted 7.
I have 7. I kept 3, drafted 4. I mean,
I drafted 7 and I had 1, so I have 8. So you do that for a reason.
Yeah.
I get next on the list. The guy sitting next to me, I gave him a B-. He doesn't want to admit it.
I won't admit it.
I think he's full of shit.
I think I went just like Kevin did. I set myself a plan and I stuck to the plan.
I didn't.
I was going to be going Nolan Jones with the number 5 pick. Nolan Jones.
I don't have a pen because I've been bullshit right here.
Nolan Jones went number 2.
This guy's
cool.
Bullshit.
So my number 2 man on my list was Matt McClain, and that's who I stuck to. I wanted Matt McClain, and his card is phenomenal. We looked at it earlier. I went Wilmer Flores at 2. I needed a first baseman. My biggest thing was I needed to not prorate as much as I did last year. That's one thing
that failed.
Not really. I'm prorating the whole outfield. But besides that, but my biggest thing was I wanted players early who didn't have to prorate and didn't have to platoon. So I took Matt McClain, who's going to start both ways. I then went Wilmer Flores with 2. I went Ryan Pepio, who we haven't seen his card as a starter. And then in the 4th round, I went relief pitcher. I went Sean Armstrong. And then with my 5th pick, I went starter again, and then I went Reese Olson. So I stuck to exactly how I wanted it. I wanted to go bat, starter, bullpen, 5th round, sort of see what was there, make a pick. And then I got lucky and got my number 1 overall prorated guy in Royce Lewis in the 6th round.
This is where I'm going to say he's full of shit. because Matt McLean would have been there in the second round. Hands down. The way that first round was going, catcher, position play. No pitches were going. Nobody's taking Matt McLean in the first round. But when Ding Dong, the witch is dead over here, got up the draft, he had a chance to take Fernando Tatis, which he needed a right fielder. A 1-4, 3, stealing A, running 1-16 or 1-17. Okay, a freaking stud who played on his team 2 seasons ago and he lost him because he was injured for the whole season. He couldn't retain him.
Yep.
Harry, he's right there. Fernando Tatis, take him. Second round, I get Matt McLean. Wilmer Flores would have been there by the 5th round. Absolutely nobody's taking Wilmer Flores. 90% of the league already has a starting first baseman. Some of them with 50 home runs. Not mine. But you're like, not mine. My guy bet at 330, but he didn't have 50 home runs.
Yeah.
Your division alone, everybody has a first baseman. Olsen, Freddie Freeman, Paul Goldschmidt. Who else is in your division?
Bill. Oh well,
Olsen. Who does Richie have at first base? Jose Abreu. He didn't keep him. He had something.
No.
Richie, who'd you have at first base?
I can't remember. Well, last year he had Seth Brown and somebody else.
But I mean, and you heard Richie even said, he was like, I was looking at Flores, but I want to stay away from the former Mets. Even said it to you.
I know.
Okay, and then in my division, I have Yandy Diaz. John, probably the only one that really needed a first baseman because he dumped Alonso.
But he didn't have.
But he had Bryce Harper.
And he had no. Yeah, he had Harper.
Bryce Harper, and then you have Sean.
Oh yeah, Cody playing first. Bellinger.
There you go, Cody Bellinger. Boom, your whole division has started first base before the draft started. And then in my division, you had Bryce Harper for him. You had Yandy Diaz for me. You had Vladdy Guerrero for Jess. You had Nathaniel Lowe for New Jersey. And who am I forgetting? And First United, probably the only team that needed a first baseman. He had Cronenworth, and he's the first base one. He's got him. Christian Walker. So everybody had a starting first baseman. Everybody. So he's there in the 5th round. So you could have went Tatis McLean. Yeah. See, that's why I said you're bullshit. You panicked. Guys started going off the list that you weren't expecting, and you were like, shit.
But my thing was, yes, I needed outfielders. I stuck to my plan because I also didn't think that other outfielders were going to go quick. Like Duran, I thought was going to sit there for at least a couple rounds. I thought Duran was going to go in round 3 or 4. So I thought even if I stretched and picked him in my 3rd or 2nd round, I thought Outman was going to go a little bit longer.
Outfield's a dime a dozen. There was just shitload of outfielders out there that were available, just like relievers. So, somebody in the first 5 picks might have took that one banger reliever. Yeah. I get it. That one banger outfield they need. I took Outman.
Yeah.
I thought it was first pick of the 2nd round because that was a need. I needed that. Yeah. I had no center fielder. So I get that. I took Astoria Ruiz, the 4th pick of the 2nd round, because I needed to replace Birdie Speed from the year before. Yeah. That's literally my whole offense. So that was different needs, but nobody needed a first baseman. Then you took a 35-year-old aging Wilmer Flores who had a good year with San Francisco. I get it. But he would have been there in the 5th round.
Yeah. I understand the point of view there. The one thing I'm just saying is
because your brain wasn't breaking it down during the draft because the mouse was chasing the speed at 5. Because you probably had 6 energy drinks and a cup of coffee in here already.
Yeah, I had a lot of coffee at that. But I had my plan set out. I didn't predict that so many outfielders that I had ranked high.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you know who got Fernando Tatis? The goddamn San Diego Padre fan.
I actually should have known that he was going to take Tatis there, to be honest.
I literally had him on the phone. He's drafting with me on the phone. He goes, Fernando Tatis taken? I said, nope, he is now. I'm like, well, there you go. So there went that. And actually, he was when the 2 catchers went, if Fernando Tatis fell to 9, I was taking him.
You were taking him at 9?
I was taking him at 9. I took Hayward because Tatis wasn't available.
And you took Hayward way later, so.
Yeah, which I knew he would have been later because he only hits one side of the plate.
Yeah.
But okay,
Listen, overall,
so let me read. Let me read. All right, there you go. I already said you panicked, so
Yeah.
good bullshit. Whatever. I said, but as always, you stuck to your guns. You stockpiled on arms. That's what you always do. You do that every year.
arms all day, baby.
But you still took way too many prorated players.
Yep.
And you didn't learn because the platoon game didn't work last year for you.
But that's why I did take guy. The one thing I was concerned about Tatis, just going back to Tatis, is his card doesn't reflect it, but stats wise, he was going to be a guy who probably didn't hit righties and hit lefties very well. The card ended up being relatively balanced on both sides. But that's one thing that concerned me about taking him in the first round is although his defense is a 1-4, he is an A.
1-4, stealing A. The guy can.
I get it.
You don't also can play center field. You know, he's a 3 in center.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, that's a 4 at second base. So could have used him there in a pinch. But the rest, your key picks I got, Reese Olson at 5, which should have been Wilmer Flores. Royce Lewis stepped in shit, rolled around in it, attracted flies, and then scooped it off with a spoon.
He shouldn't have made
it to you. That could be worse than Joey Meneses getting to me at 9 last year.
Yeah. And Royce Lewis is a long-term hold, too.
Because Royce Lewis should have never got past 1. No, sorry, 1 we knew. He never should have got past 2, 3, or 4. And he did. I don't know how. And Kyle Isbell at 16, great, and Jorge Soler at 11, great.
Yeah.
So I got you a
B minus.
A B minus.
And
actually, it's a BS.
A BS.
It's bullshit.
Listen, I actually think the B minus is very fair. I see nothing wrong with the B minus there. So I personally was happy with my draft, but we're gonna go to the next one.
Yeah, next one we got the aforementioned Padre fan, the First United Cobra Kai, also at a B minus.
Sean,
but he doesn't have a BS.
Once again.
Yeah, hi Sean. Florida, the Sunshine State. Great side of the draft right out of the gate. Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Number 2, Kodai Senga.
Great pick. One of the top rated starters.
Number 3, Braxton Garrett.
Solid lefty, power lefty.
Number 4, Yunier Cano.
Good pick.
And number 5, Andrew Nardi. Another good pick.
Yep.
Another power lefty.
Yeah.
So right out of the box now, he only needed 12 picks.
Yep.
To fill out his 37-man, 27-man, and 10-man minor. So that right out of the bat is fine. Then it started getting a little wonky for the rest of the draft. 6 took Zach Galoff, which great pick.
Great pick.
Probably his starting second baseman.
Yeah.
But I don't think he drafted enough bullpen.
Yeah.
Again. He's got a lot of lefty starters.
As always.
And in any all-star strat league, lefties get hammered hard. And if you're going to get into a scoring battle with a team, you need shut down relievers. He took Christopher Martin at 8, which I think we have him.
Christopher Martin. What team is he with? Boston, right?
He was like one of the first.
Yeah, Christopher Martin. Actually, pretty decent card, actually.
4 column high, and the 4 column's a little iffy, but the rest of the column is solid. Right-handed pitcher, good. He then took Jeff Hoffman at number 9.
We looked at Hoffman's card, and it's very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
And then Griffin Canning at 12.
Griffin Canning you saw here. I don't remember where he was. Where's Griffin? There he is. Concerning.
Yeah,
He's not going to start.
middle of 4 columns rough, and then the middle of the 6th column is rough with power.
Probably
I mean, he's got returning guys. We know, we get it. You know, he's
and Sanga's automatically going to probably be his 2 behind Max Fried, probably.
so, but a lot of lefties. But you know, he's going to have to rely on his offense, which I think that puts a lot of pressure on his team because his starting pitchers have to play shutdown. Because if the starting pitchers don't shut down the offense, they're going to be long games. really long games. So, I think he needed to. I know again only had 12 picks, but I think he needed to really address shut down relievers. But again, stranger things happen when you roll dice. So
Yep,
hell knows.
exactly.
Good, really sleeper pick, 9th round. Cool ratings.
Yep,
That was a great pick.
shouldn't have fallen that far. Totally agree.
Other picks, I feel that will come in handy this year, but more I think were for next year. Guys like Jose Caballero.
Yep.
And Geraldo Perdomo. You took Caballero at 7, Perdomo at 11. One of them is probably going to be his backup shortstop to JP Crawford.
Sean, hit me up. Or I got a shortstop 1 for you. I need an outfielder, so we're gonna.
This guy's soliciting.
Call me.
On all our feed.
Call me.
But those guys are they could come in handy this year, but I think there's a more concentrated for next year.
Yeah.
They're young and very raw. So we gave them a B-. Then we move on to the New Jersey Killers. The Killers. C+. We gave the Killers. Great first pick right out of the box. Yunior Diaz, catcher with an arm and a bat.
Hits righties.
New Jersey hasn't had that ever.
Yeah.
But after that, the catching ranks get a little wonky.
Yeah.
Danny Jansen is like a 2+1.
2+1.
And then Shangling Galir
4-0.
4-0. So the catching ranks are a little weird. And I don't want to throw salt in the wound, Kenny, but Christian Vasquez was a 2-2.
Yeah.
And I granted he didn't hit much, but he was a 2-2. You had him on your team last year. So, okay, so moving on. A couple picks were a little head scratching, and not because of the picks, just where they were taken in the draft. Like Josh Lau, number 2. Good statistics on one side. Overall numbers, not good.
Yeah.
And his defense, not so good.
No, his defense was good.
No, it wasn't so good.
3-2 E3 in the corners.
That's not good.
And he's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.5 on the right side, and that's his big side.
That's his big side.
He's a AA, running 1-16. I won't lie, I really did want him, and I thought his card was going to be better.
No, good pick, just not at number 2. I was saying they're good picks, just not at that particular. And then Luke Raley at number 5. I would say Josh Lau at number 5. That would have been, Raley, I think would have lasted a lot longer in the draft.
Raley might have, Lau probably wouldn't have.
Right. But I think Lau would have made 5.
Raley might not have. I might have taken him in 4.
Really?
I might have Lau. Lau, I think I would have taken him in the 4th round. Because I needed an outfielder. So I think I would have taken him in 4. Raley's card against righties is fine. His power column isn't bad.
His defense.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and they had 11 against righties. Stealing B, bunting B, running 1-15.
Bunting B's nice.
Bunting B is very nice.
I do like that.
Yeah. 4-2 on the corner. 4-2 E4 across the outfield with a 46 at first base, even though he is Lau, but the other one. He's
a low and a Lau.
He's a low and a Lau.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shane Lillers, by the way, is a 4-1, not 4-0. 4-1 E4.
Then he took Davis Snyder at number 6, which obviously makes sense at 6. You just do not count on that guy to play the field ever.
And his left side, he's gonna be very prorated, but you're gonna want to start him against lefties because that's his power side. He's a home run at 2-4, 2-5, 2-6.
But here's the problem: when you play Sean,
lefties,
and you play Bill, you're gonna blow out half his freaking prorated at bats and just those 2 series alone.
Yeah, because each of them are going to have at least 2 lefties, if not 3. So
3. So
he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 on base chances, and 4.5 of them are home runs.
Yep. No, he can hit. We knew he was going to hit. He knew he wasn't going to field.
Listen, if you want to play a 4E35 at third base, I say go for it. Or, you know what, even better, a 5+3 E5 left. I say you should try it one game, Kenny, maybe against me if you wanted to. Like, I'm fine you experimenting that way in our series. I'm okay with it. Like, so feel free to.
Here we go.
Love you, Kenny. Love you.
I'm leaving you home next year. I just by myself. Returning starters: Sandy Alcantara, Pablo Lopez, Michael King, Aaron Nola, and Blake Snell. They're joined by his third pick, Justin Steele, his sixth pick, Bobby Miller, 12th pick, Grayson Rodriguez.
So he's got 8 starters. He's got a lot of options. He could even try to unload one of those guys for a need that he might
Michael
have.
King's a starter reliever, so you know he's versatile.
Yeah,
he can do some stuff. His bullpen outside of Craig Kimbrell, which
his card actually wasn't that bad.
is not as bad as it should be, but it's still scary for a closer.
Yeah,
in the ninth inning, it's kind of like
Jess would know about that.
And Phil too.
Yeah,
and me, I had him in 2015.
There you go.
But he actually did suck.
Fourth team in like 6 years.
That's what he does. He's a freaking nomad. Hops around. Robert Stevenson at 4. Good pick, except he's got
home runs against lefties.
Yeah,
he's got 5-3 spelt out against lefties, 5-4 walk, 5-5 spelt out. So like you just gotta avoid that little small cluster and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Against lefties.
And it's all strikeouts.
Joel Piamps at number 8 which was pretty solid.
His card was fine.
Mark Leiter at 16.
Lefties.
Jojo Romero.
Jojo Romero, lefties, great.
Yep. And they joined John Leclerc and Alexis
Jose Leclerc. And
Alexis
Diaz.
Which probably I don't know. Maybe Diaz. Leclerc.
Diaz is hard.
Leclerc got hammered late in the year. He started running out of gas.
Yeah. And
that's when they started using Chapman a little more.
Right side's pretty decent, actually. He's a closer 2. It's not bad.
Yeah, we'll see Diaz when we do the National League.
Yeah.
But it's pretty, mix and match.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to use, different guys at different points.
Yeah.
Broad Street Bats, you guys are not last. You're not even second to last. You're not last. So congratulations, you've moved up in the list. You are C. Another great number 1 pick with Gabriel Moreno, a 2-4 catcher.
Yep.
Very nice. When he already had 4 starters going in to the draft with the acquisition of Justin Verlander, Drew Rasmussen, Joe Ryan, and Shohei Ohtani, which Joe Ryan's card is dog shit.
Yep.
Sorry to inform you.
Ohtani's is a lot better than last year. Not great, but better than last year.
His hitting card
against righties.
Great. Lefties, leave him home.
Yep. Leave him on the bus.
Leave him on the bus. Well, yeah, so you don't use them illegally again. And remember, you can DH him and pitch him at the same time. And when he comes out of the game as a pitcher, he can stay in the game as a DH. Just remember that.
4th round, Tyler Holton. He's a lefty who he has one bad.
Why are you jumping into my next line?
I'm jumping into your next line.
You're jumping into my next line. What you already said? Tyler
Holton
before. Great pick. Absolutely great pick. Shut down lefty.
2-inning guy.
That doesn't give up anything to lefties.
No, he does. He has one home run, big home run split against lefties, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing.
I'll roll it. With Nicky Lopez, there was no power.
Yeah, so it's a double. And then you roll 19 and it'll be an out anyway.
Yeah, probably. He took Bailey over in round 5.
Great pick.
It was a good pick. Technically, because of his trades, you got Justin Verlander in the 2nd and Rasmussen in the 3rd.
Yep.
So that filled that out. Noelvi Marte at number 6. I don't like that pick because severely prorated, and Royce Lewis was there.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Dude, that was your DH occasional third baseman, big bop off the bench. That was your last year's Pete Alonso. And you took Noel Marte, who is a 130-pound soaking wet slap hitter that you're going to be able to use basically for the equivalent of like 25% of the season.
25 minutes.
Yeah, he's gonna have the Danny Mendick jersey on.
Going to play for the first 6
games, and then come up for the last series. Don't
get me wrong.
It's a good card.
It's a great card, but you're not going to be able to use it to the quantity that you need to.
Yeah, which sucks, And if I remember how many, well, he definitely had over.
Who, Marte? Yeah. He had like 106.
Yeah.
It was just over 100.
Yeah,
he was barely eligible.
Yeah, that's rough.
So you took him at 6.
Yeah. All right.
You took Anthony Volpe at 7 was a great pick.
Yeah, Anthony Volpe, I feel at 7 is where
he should have
won. I think last year when we were talking, I said if he goes before the 8th round, I'd be shocked. And he went 7. So perfect. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fun with that.
And I mean, you already have Hassan Kim at short, and then he had somebody else at shortstop too on top of Volpe and Hassan Kim, I think. But I don't remember.
He's got Rengifo. Doesn't play the infield.
Rengifo plays everywhere.
Yeah. All right. So on top of Holton, he took Tom Cosgrove.
Yep.
At 8.
Yep.
He was a lefty that got out righties.
No, Cosgrove gets off both sides.
They got both sides. Bryce Wilson at number 10, and Hobie Milner at number 11.
Yes.
Great picks. Really,
yes.
Great picks. Very good job on your bullpen, but not enough. You have Duran, who's probably going to be your closer. Helsley's probably going to be your setup guy. You still needed that 2 shutdown guys.
Yeah.
You have too many lefty relievers, which usually does not equate to good results.
Drafted 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say Cosgrove is both sides. Who was his first round pick?
It doesn't matter if it's a lefty who gets on righties because everybody's card is going to kill the lefties. Yeah. So kill the lefty. So I mean, it's you gotta, but still the best draft he's had.
Yes.
Not counting the one I had to draft for him.
No, but I think he had the best draft that he's ever had. I think the only misstep in like the first 7 rounds, I don't even consider Marte a real misstep. It's just he's severely prorated and like he should have taken Lewis in that spot. I think the only—
You should have took Royce Lewis. You probably could have took Marte in round 7 because I don't think he was going to go. If you didn't draft him, I don't think he was going to go.
Who, Marte?
Yeah, in the 6th round. Because everybody saw he only had 106 plate appearances.
Yeah, I wasn't going to take him at 7. That's why I heard. So
if you went 7 or 8, all right, that's worth a pick. 7 or 8. If you took Volpe 7, you took him 8. All right, you know what? Got a guy, pinch hit him a couple of times.
Yeah.
Send him down to the minors, bring him up the second half.
And Marte doesn't play defense either, correct?
No.
So he's going to be a DH. So I mean,
we can't even DH him. Just say
well, not every game.
He's got, but he's only got like 59 favorites.
It might even be less. It might even be less than 59 favorites.
It's very low.
Yeah, let me look at that real quick. But yeah, overall, I thought Broad Street definitely had one of their arguably their best draft ever.
Defense wise, he actually shored up his outfield. It was an absolute shit show.
Yeah. Marte was 50
play appearances.
And then he also has Dominic Fletcher with 41.
That's so much worse. Last year, absolute shit show in the outfield.
Yeah.
Acuna's still a 3, but you can live with it because the guy can tank. But he went out, he got himself Alec Thomas, who's a center field 1. He traded for Jose Siri, which we said was a 2 or a 1.
1 minus 2.
1 minus 2. So now you got 2 1s in center field.
And he's also got a 3rd because he also has Leo Tavares was Cobra Kai.
That was Cobra Kai. But he has Dalton Varsho, who's a 1 in left, 2 in center. So now you got a 1 in left, you have a 1 in center.
2 1s in center, yeah.
And you have Acuna in right field, but you drafted Jankowski,
Did we get the Jen?
who was a 1 in
1+1 in left.
left, the 2 in center and right. So now, boom, Jankowski comes in because he's prorated too, isn't he?
Mhm.
So he could come in. He spells Acuna late in the game. Now you got 1, 1, 2 in the outfield.
All with good E ratings.
Yeah, and you're
And he's an egg, so he could always pinch run.
Well, Acuna's a double A, so you're not.
No, but you could pinch run for another
double
out.
switch.
Yeah, you could do a double switch.
You catchers up, gets on base, you bring in Jankowski, pinch runs, stays in the game to play right field. Acuna comes out, the catcher goes in Acuna's spot, boom, there you go. That's how it's done.
Yep.
Key starters that I felt that were big for his rotation at 5, Billy Ober, and Wade Miley at 15.
Yes, and Miley pitched for Milwaukee. Correct.
We didn't get that.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. But I remember his card being
We didn't get
solid.
the Nationals.
Yeah.
But
We didn't have time.
we're-
That's what happens when we were stuck in the car for almost 4 hours on the way home.
we could have
So
did the live show from the car.
we could have. I think Jen might have killed us, but that's all right.
She was so aggressive. Okay, so Lockport, not last, second last. C- for the Herminators, the defending best record of the division last year. Wasn't prepared. And
We knew that coming in.
Not his fault.
No, not his fault at all. We knew that was going to be
But it's plain and simple. It wasn't prepared. Kind of flying off the cuff.
Yeah.
Blind leading the blind because he's getting his.
It's right that they both got the same grade, though. I mean,
No. John got a C. Blackboard got a C-. You can blame that on John, but he's the one who helped you. So.
But Lockport took Jaron Duran.
Jaron Durant, number 1. But the lack of the fact that he just his defensive abilities is just dog crap.
He's a 3-1 in left and right.
He could have been.
Just left.
He would have been there around 3.
No.
Yeah,
I would have taken him in round 2.
you already have guys who can't catch the ball in the outfield.
He's a 3-1 E3. I was gonna take him at 2 because I needed a guy who could play both sides of the fucking ball, so I didn't have to freaking so I didn't have to platoon.
You're awful.
And then he took Bryson Stott.
You would have took freaking 150-year-old Wilbur Flores. Bullshit. Don't believe anything this guy says. He's full of shit. He got graded with a BS. He's full of it. Absolutely bullshit.
He took Bryson Stott in round 2.
Great pick.
Great pick.
Ryan Baroque, round 3.
Best reliever available.
I think that was a great pick.
Great pick.
Mauricio Dubon, I don't think should have went 4. But if you felt like that 4th round, you needed to fill needs at that pit with that guy. Guy plays center field. Guy plays second base. Plays everywhere, but those are strong positions.
Yep.
Center and second. We has low E rating at both. Cool. Great. Eduardo Rodriguez at 5.
I'm fine with it. I like it.
Coming back with some heavy arms. He's got the Zach attack. He's got Zach Gallen, Zach Eflin,
And
Zach Wheeler.
He's gonna have the law offices of Zach and Zach.
It's gonna be like the Zach attack. He's gonna play the theme song to Saved by the Bell.
I think you should. I think you should walk into Kevin's house every Saturday when we playing the Saved by the Bell. So one of those starters is going to be starting that first series regardless. So, Freddie Furman at 6.
Alexa, play. Wait, Alexa. What? Come on. No, not you in there.
Sorry, I thought I heard my name.
No, shut up. Alexa, play Saved by the Bell theme song.
Okay. Saved by the Bell and JNJSOM on Amazon Music.
It's coming from my refrigerator. All right, continue with Zach Tech.
He brought back a good chunk of starters. Like we said, with the Zach attack, Zach Gallen, Zach Wheeler, and Zach Eflin. On top of Garrett Cole.
Oh my God! And don't forget, he also drafted Zach Littell.
Oh, and he drafted Zach Littell, so he's got 4 sacks. Zach Littell will end up probably being in this bullpen. He's a starter 5, relief 4.
This has to be the most of that same name. And granted, 3 of them are spelled different, but Jesus, I mean, Dylan Cease returns to the team. He's most likely going to be in the minors. Hope that he bounces back I personally hope that not only does he bounce back, but he bounces back somewhere else because Chicago lingering the trade over his head all season long is going to be murder for that guy. He went with
Freddie Furman.
Freddie Fermin, the catcher from the Royals, who we're going to say Alexa and music. He's going to replace Sal Perez behind the plate for the Royals. It looks like Sal Perez is going to be the starting first baseman now.
Where did they put Vinny P?
Well, he can't hit the ball, so he can go hit the bricks.
This can.
Stinks. But again, moving on, Freddie for me, number 6, great. But some of the picks were just kind of like Hail Mary.
After Fermin, I feel like that's where it fell off.
It was a lot of Hail Marys after that. It was Riley Adams at number 9. Riley Adams is a terrible catcher.
He's a +3 arm.
I hope not.
He's a +2 at least. He's at least a
Connor Wong at number 12. That was with an assistance from the commissioner's office. A young catcher that will. I don't know how long he's going to be playing for Boston because they have another catcher coming up. Taylor Walls at 7. Him and I have had this conversation before. You and I have had this conversation. I didn't understand it. That was literally somebody you could have took in like the 15th round. That really didn't make any sense because now you have 3 shortstops in Trevor Story, Taylor Walls, and Jorge Mateo who bat 220 or lower. Granted, 2 of them have some speed. They play defense, but that's it. You literally have 3 of the exact same player. You have a shortstop 2 and Mateo with a high E rating. You have Trevor Story, who's a 2 E10. And then you have Taylor Walls, who's also a 1. We're going to let you know the E rating right now, but he's
a 1 E5 at second, a 1 E28 at short, and a 2 E12 at third, stealing A, running 1 to 15.
So and Story's an A and Mateo's a double A. So you didn't need. I would have never held on to Story. He's going to be a platoon player in Boston. He's not starting. And Taylor Walls, like I said, you could have took it a 15th round.
And Taylor Walls isn't going to start against righties and could probably start against lefties. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6, 7, Corey Seager.
8, 9, 10, 11. He's going to need. Remember, he's going to need a third baseman because Gio Urshela's card's really bad. He needs a third baseman. So
he's got Ryan McMahon,
whose card's worse than Gio Urshela's.
Covering my face. No, his card's bad, dude.
Just to give you a heads up, Rob.
He is a 1 at second and third.
Who, McMahon?
Yeah.
But then again, you're literally just going.
If you add those together, that's probably the amount of hits that are on the cards. Oh my god.
No, but Walls could start against lefties at third base for you as a 2 E12. That's fine. But you're going to need to find a third baseman to hit against right.
And I think Gio Urshela hits better against lefties, even though his card's bad. He still hits lefties better. Which kind of defeats the purpose. And Ryan McMahon doesn't hit lefties well because he is lefty.
Where was Gio Urshela? Oh, Gio Urshela played for Anaheim, so it's a little bit further back here. Gio Urshela, he actually did
2 E27.
It's actually hard. His offensive card is actually better.
His left side's better. The hits are more condensed.
Yeah, 1, 2,
And the one
3,
column's
4,
better.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
But again, now you got Walls,
but also
Urshela, who can only hit lefties, and Ryan McMahon, who now is going to be your third baseman against righties, and his card's not that good.
But you also need to remember this too: is the injury on Urshela's cards are bad. It's a 3-6 and a 2-8. Also, this year, a pattern that I've seen with these cards is a lot of injuries on hits in the middle of the guys who have injuries at like the 6, 7, 8, 9. It's single plus injury, double plus injury. It's really, really weird.
Really dumb crap.
Yeah.
So, JT Muramoto's returning catcher, Riley Adams, I think was a really bad pick, especially at 9. Riley Adams, you could have took literally your last pick of the draft. You would have been there. It was 3 or 4 better catchers. Travis d'Arnaud was still out there. And what is it, John Molly? What was his
Luke Haley.
Luke Maley was also a 2. He was available.
Right, that's who it was. Luke Maley.
Yeah.
Supplemental.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke Maley.
Yeah, he's a 2. But again, you can't put too much on it. He was unprepared. He didn't have his paperwork done. He kind of came into this and gotta do it. You gotta do what you gotta do. We've seen lesser teams win. I mean, we had our first ever world champion with a losing record this year.
Yep.
So shit happens.
Same records, me. Yeah.
Yep.
And he swept me.
John.
And John. Yeah.
Bullpen arms, he didn't take a relief pitcher until round 10. And Jay Jackson.
And who did he have coming back? He had Evan Phillips, Gratterall, and
Duval.
Camilo Duval. So he had those 3 coming back, and then he didn't take a relief pitcher until 10.
Which was Jay Jackson. Then Ryan Thompson at 11. Andres Munoz.
Wait, Ryan? Oh, he had Zach Thompson,
Yeah.
not Ryan Thompson.
Another Zach.
Yeah.
Thank God he didn't have him. That would be 5.
My goodness. Yeah.
Just the exact rotation. Just had to rename the bullpen. Andres Munoz at 13 and Caleb Tybar at 15. I think it's not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 7 relievers, which you're gonna have to
Find
minimum of 5 in the majors. You're probably gonna have to carry 6 because
if you're going to carry Caleb Thebar, he only hits lefties, only throws against lefties. So you're going to have to use him, specifically, like in specific spots at the last out.
Last out lefty, and if he doesn't get that out, you're gonna be screwed if the right hand is up next.
Well, you also got to think Zach Littell is going to be part of that bullpen, so that's
Could be,
total. Thebar's 5, so you really should find one more guy in there. Because Zach Littell will be your long man in case of long inning relief or you pull somebody early or whatever.
It could be rough. You're just gonna have to score like 8 runs a game.
Well, listen,
No big deal.
no big deal.
Jared Triolo at 7, great pick.
8.
Yeah, why does it say 7?
You wrote it wrong. It's 8.
At 8, even better
Great pick.
because they went an extra round. But yeah, great pick. He plays third, doesn't he?
Plays first, second, and third. He's prorated though, and he has less. I'll look to see what his plate appearance are. He's prorated though. Boom. Let's look at his pro rates real quick. We're going to Mickey Mantle division, and we are going to Lockport. Triolo, 85.
Okay. That's basically a less than a half a season.
But if you platoon between him and Urshela, you might be able to get away.
And Walls.
Him and Walls. Oh yeah, because Walls. Yeah. Him. I think between him, Walls, and
His Walls probably.
No. Walls is not. He got selected in the third or fourth or whatever it was. Yeah.
7.
Walls was 7. I don't know.
Yeah, but meanwhile I wrote 7 for the other guy.
Yeah.
So that was back-to-back picks. It was Walls and then
Triolo. So there's ways to make it work, and then obviously, like we said, you have Lockport has returning players: Freddie Freeman, Aaron Judge, Corey Seager.
Aaron Judge, by the way, I was right again. His card is
spectacular, much better this year
than it was last year. Last year you were complaining he only had 2 spelled out home runs. I think he's got like 4.
He's got 3 on the right side and 5 on the left side.
You're welcome.
Like Robbie, just so you know, left side 2-4, 2-5, 2-6 spelled out. 2-7, 1-15 out. 2-10 spelled out. 2-12, 1-19 out. 1. Right side 2-4, 2-5 spelled out. 2-10 spelled out. 2-12, 1-19 out. And then 2-6 is 1-9 double the rest.
Told you.
Only
Left plate appearances.
only bad thing. 1-9 injury against lefties. 3-5 against righties.
3-5 is killer.
Yeah,
That's bad.
that's bad. Strikeout plus injury.
But he's got Adolis Garcia, as depth in the outfields. So he's fine there. And he's drafted some other guys. For the outfield, so he's good.
Yep.
Good. Okay, so moving on to last but not least, sorry, Bill. Leonard Lightning gets the big D. Sorry.
It's a bit.
Sorry. Dude, we were We were petrified. Okay, when you came out of the trade deadline with 3 rounds of multiple picks on top of possibly at that time having the number 1 pick in the draft, because at that time he did. Finish the season, you wound up having a number 2 pick still, and you had 3 rounds of multiple picks all before the 10th round, and we were like, he's gonna come out just banging them out, just boom, 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 just knocking guys out of the park. That didn't really happen. I mean, again, my opinion. Some other teams, before Nick saw the card, he was all on board with Nolan Jones as number 1. As we saw the card, probably not. Or
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think it's a really, really good card. I was just expecting more from the card, not from your pick at 2, in my mind. Because listen, you were the wild card for me in the first round. I thought that if anybody besides myself was going to take Nolan Jones, it was going to be you. Because I knew who was going 1. I knew 3 and 4 were probably going to go catchers, just because of needs. So I thought, all right, I need to get my bill to be able to get Nolan Jones. So the stats were there. It all looked good. I personally don't mind the pick at 2. I thought it was a good pick at 2. His card doesn't have the power that I thought it was going to have. He has more hits than I thought. I thought it was going to be more walk heavy.
And what's his E rating?
It's a 5 in right field. You can make do with the 4-5 E5 in right. I don't think that's bad. Kevin thought it was going to be worse, the E rating.
Yeah, I did.
I said E4, ended up being an E5. Offensively, I thought it was going to be a Juan Soto-esque card. Walks and a lot of spelt out home runs. The power isn't there. I was really curious as to how the power wasn't there. But he does have more hits than walks. So it was definitely a different type of card that I thought you were going to get.
Yeah.
And then in the second round,
let me touch up a little bit on that. Like I said, that wasn't my personal favorite. I wouldn't have wasted a number 1 pick on a guy who can't field unless you needed him at first base, which you didn't because you have Matt Olson with his 50 home runs and his gold glove. So to me, it made no sense because last year you struggled severely with outfield defense. You had Eloy Jimenez a 5 playing in the outfield at times. Gurriel was one of your best left fielders in 3-1, but at least he had an E6 rating. You struggled defensively everywhere. Even Arenado struggled defensively because he was a 1E15.
Yeah.
But your first draft pick coming out of the box, you didn't need a starting pitcher just yet. You were set. You had 4 studs coming in.
Yep.
You had Wilson Contreras, who was a 3-3.
Yeah.
E3 or E4.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is good. But I was kind of expecting, if not a catcher, I was expecting a third baseman. I was expecting a Josh Young, a Michael Garcia, a Spencer Steer.
Yep.
That's what I was expecting because Devers is a defensive liability at third base. And you really didn't touch up in anything there. Your Devers is going to have to play third base.
And what is Devers' defense?
We should be there.
421.
And that's actually worse than last year. He was a 3 last year.
He was a 3 with a good E rating last year, actually.
So, and then I look at it like this. If your name's not Ronald Acuna, and you're not putting up that kind of offense that Ronald Acuna put up, then you can't sacrifice the glove. Yeah, I get it. He's a -5. I get it. We've seen -5s. Aaron Judge, Kevin Kiermaier, Larry Walker, Vladimir Guerrero Sr.
I think even Ramon Laureano was a
Ramon Laureano also was like we've seen -4s before. Dave Winfield, Jesse Barfield, Jose Guillen. We've seen them before in the league. Roberto Clemente.
Yep.
But you can't be a 4 -5 because you're basically saying that you got a ton of assists because you didn't catch the ball.
Yeah.
So it really it doesn't equate, and he's forced to play right field because you don't really have a right fielder. Your left fielder, which is Corbin Carroll, I think has to play center field.
No, who did
we figure that out?
Yeah, we figured that out. That was going to be we sort of pieced rosters together too, just to sort of see who was going to play where too, guys. It was going to be one of his picks. I hope we ended up getting to him. By the way, your starting rotation's going to be nasty.
But we knew that before the draft even started.
Yeah.
And that was before you even took a pick, which we're going to get to one of those.
Oh, Chas McCormick against lefties.
Chas McCormick, but again, he's not a star.
Against lefties, he is.
Against lefties. He has half the lefties in the league. He's throwing batting practice to his own team. He's good.
I don't think we got to it. I can't remember who is.
No, I'm telling you, we said he was going to have to play center field, and he's got Gurriel for left field. He's got Lourdes for left field.
I'm gonna look at because I thought we had said something.
No, that was Sean.
Oh, was it? Okay, that was Sean. So Gurriel in left and Corbin Carroll as a 2+1
In center.
1 or 2 or whatever it is in center. Yeah.
And then a 4 -5 in right, and you have no defensive replacements for these guys. And then in the second round, you drafted Lamont Wade, which that made no sense. To me, it made no sense. His best position is first base. You don't draft a backup in the second round. You have Matt Olson. He's terrible in the infield. He's worse than who we're talking about. It just didn't make any sense there. That literally should have been a catcher, a third baseman, an outfielder with a glove. That should have been James Outman.
No, you took Outman before. He took Outman.
I took Outman.
You took Outman
first.
before. Yeah.
Okay. But there was other outfielders out there.
Yeah.
Jason Hayward was out there.
But I just to play devil's advocate, then you go in round 3, and I think your draft gets a little bit better here. So you went Hunter Harvey in 3, which I thought was phenomenal.
That was a great pick.
Great
I had
pick.
that on my next note. I said Hunter Harvey was a great pick. In my mind, as I'm listening, I'm like, all right, here we go. He's getting some traction.
You had 2 picks in the 4th.
Willie Castro, he can hit, but he can't play the field. He can run, but he can't play the field.
Then you bounce right back with a Peter Fairbanks pick. Great pick. Phenomenal pick. Bullpen's awesome. 5.
Wait, hold on.
Yep.
Peter Fairbanks.
Was it Peter Fairbanks?
No. 5. Fairbanks was 4.
4, yep.
Albert Alzolay 5.
Albert Alzolay
Okay.
5.
Great pick. Both of them picks. Round 6. Here we come. Again, a very familiar topic. Royce Lewis.
Royce freaking
What the hell is going on? Royce freaking Lewis. Come on. We knew Annie was taking Yori Perez with the first pick of the 6th round. Royce Lewis.
I got away with highway robbery, guys. Just so you
He
know.
was the Joey Meneses of this season. He should have been drafted no later than 3. You and Jonathan should have never let him get down to 4 or 5. It just
John was 4, but yeah.
He should have never got past Kenny.
I like Ryan. By the way, Ryan Jeffers' card is good. I like
Ryan Jeffers' card is good, but in the 6th round, it wasn't needed.
No.
6th round should have been that guy that was prorated, but
Lewis or Triolo, to be honest.
give me some pop off the bench.
Zach Kaloff.
And Royce Lewis gonna play third base. He's got a better fielding and defensive rating than Devers. It's a 3, I think.
He's 16. He's D16. I think he's
I
a
think it's a 316.
316. Oh no, we didn't get to him yet. But yeah, he's
Most positive he's a 3.
He's a 316. Yeah.
So even if you use him for 4 or 5 innings and you take him out and you bring in a defensive replacement guy just to save at bats, I just didn't understand it. And Mitch Garver, good pick.
Yeah, Mitch Garver,
Mitch Garver's
another card that looks
Clay
really good.
Holmes. Before we get to Clay Holmes, okay, Clay Holmes at the time when you drafted Clay Holmes, everybody looked at each other and was like, We've all watched Yankee games. He was absolute trash. He sucked. Well, you got the freaking unicorn because
His card's
his
phenomenal.
card's great.
His cards, you know something, you talked to somebody, you called Strat up, you were like, hey, listen, I need Clay Holmes right
The
now.
guy gave up 2 home runs, which I thought he gave up more, but he must have but his card's great. He's against righties. He's got 2 possible ways to get on in the 4 column: single walk, which is nothing, 6-3 single, 6-5 double, 6-6 double, 1-6 single, a shitload of strikeouts, and then a random walk at the bottom. Against lefties, same thing: 6-3, 6-5, 6-6 is a single 1-9 split, 6-11 walk again, and then in 4 column 4-6, 4-7 walk, and more strikeouts on the right side than the left side. But and he's a closer 5 batter closer. So it happens. Sometimes we step in shit.
Between him and Bautista, you're going to be set.
Batista's card is nasty as hell.
Batista's card is beautiful.
Okay, so where that pick didn't make any sense, it wound up benefiting you. That's great.
Yeah.
But you know who would have made him great to sit? Royce Lewis. Do you hear me, Bill? Jonathan? Kenny? Royce Lewis. Ezekiel Duran at 10, good pick.
Good pick.
Will Smith at 10 because he had a 2-10.
Good pick.
Really good pick. Nice card.
Very good. Left lockdown. Lefty.
Yeah.
Very good pick.
Jose Barrios at 11.
Good pick.
Another good
Right
pick.
up top. Left side's a little shaky. Right side's not too shabby. If you want to fit him into the
And then
rotation.
at 12, Ellie De La Cruz. Can't hit lefties. He can hit righties and he can run.
I was super concerned that somebody was going to reach and go get Ellie De La Cruz way too early, just off a name alone. You took him in
Just off
12.
ESPN Web Gems.
You took him in 12, and I was like, yes. Good pick, Bill, because that's
Not
what
only
he should have gone.
his last pick.
Yeah.
His final
I
pick.
thought it was
Great.
just a phenomenal pick. That's where he should have gone. He should have gone in the double-digit rounds, and you were spot on there.
So, okay. That's our ratings. I don't want anybody to be upset. And, again, anytime you need help, please feel free to ask.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be bothered and be like, oh my God, hey, please ask. This guy's got the bladder of a 6-year-old.
You know what?
What, are you going to deny it? Exactly. Just ask. When it comes to the draft, ask. If you have an opinion or you need an opinion about a trade you want to propose to somebody, just ask. I mean, you got to ask anyway as the commissioner to get it approved, but ask me as a GM or someone who's been playing straddle for 30 years. Just ask me, like, does this make sense? Does this help me? Does this fill my needs? Do I need more? Do I need a draft pick? Should I give a draft pick? Like, stuff like that. I don't care who it is. Just text me, email me, call me. It doesn't matter. Just ask. I want everybody to get better every year. I want everybody to have fun playing. I want everybody to, just enjoy themselves. And nobody enjoys losing. Trust me. Nobody enjoys sitting next to this idiot when he loses because he cries and throws shit and yells and screams and curses, and then he leaves beer bottles and tissues everywhere.
Let's fucking go.
See? Ridiculous. Bullshit artist.
All right.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back. Yeah, I just heard somebody. It's like Boogeyman or whatever it is.
Yeah. Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. You say Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times, and he shows up. And
He
you
said
say,
bullshit 3 times and
"Here I come."
there he is. Yeah, so there we go. So to recap, Phoenix took high honors. Leonardo took low honors. But again, learning experience. Let's go into this season. Go out there, guns a-blazing, put those best teams available out there. If you need an opinion about your roster,
Yeah.
You want me to look at your roster? I mean, I gave a bunch of people suggestions on retainer lists.
Yep.
I made lists for them and said, this would be my opinion. Boom, you can do whatever you want. If you want me to lay out your roster according to what your cards look like, what you think you should have is up 27 and then 10 in the minors, I'll give you that, and you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. With that said, we got our 2024 predictions.
Yeah. Why don't you go first? You do division first. I'll go second. Again, Kevin's prepared. I'm doing it off the top of the dome. So yeah, you go first.
Ain't nothing much up there
There's not a lot
on the
at
dome,
all.
on the dome. The dome's a little dusty. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Mickey Mantle.
Okay.
Since it's not my division. Perfect. We're gonna start with the Mickey Mantle Memorial American Division. And I have the Chandler Diamondbacks finishing at 45 wins or less. Winning the division between 6 to 8 games over the second place Phoenix Dragons. I have at 38 or less. I have Lockport in third place at 37 or less. Middletown at 32 wins, which is a 1-game improvement from last year. And then I have Leonardo missing the playoffs with 25 or less victories.
Okay. I am going to thank you for doing that.
So you remember what teams are in your division?
Yeah. It's hard to remember. It's been a long off season, guys.
Yeah.
You know what? I did this last year. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go Phoenix Dragons at 1. Like I said, I think the draft complemented her team so well, and I think getting those 3 frontline starters.
But then
I think those 3 frontline starters really, really helped. I'm gonna go Phoenix at 43 wins. I think this division again is gonna be very competitive. I'm gonna go Chandler at 2. I'm gonna go Chandler at 40 wins. So I think it's gonna be a very close division. Phoenix will win by 3 games. I think Chandler has the starters, has the bats, might struggle a little bit in the bullpen. So I'm gonna go Chandler at 40. I'm going to go myself at 3rd, and I'm going to go 36 wins. I think I will fall 4 games short of Chandler for 2nd place. Again, like my team, have to look into it more a little bit later, but I'm going to go 36 wins for myself. I'm going to go Lockport at 32 wins, so slightly below 500. I think there are certain aspects of Lockport's team that may lack a little bit offensively. Has the power bats, but does he have anything behind Freddie Freeman, Seager, and Judge? And then I'll go Leonardo, and I will go Leonardo at, I'm going to go a little bit higher than Kevin. I'm going to go Leonardo at 28 wins.
We'll go the Jackie Robinson Memorial National Division. I have, because I believe in myself, the Jersey Shore Surge at 48 or less wins, which is actually a step down from the 51 that I put up this year. Winning the division by between 6 and 8 games. Scooterville, I have in 2nd place at 42 or less. First United Cobra Kai at 3rd. This division sounding familiar.
Sounds very familiar.
At 35. Broad Street Mats at 32, 1 game better than last year, but still a game under 500. And then New Jersey Killers, I have bringing up the rear, missing the playoffs with 30 victories.
So I'm going to go, I'm just a little bit different. I'm going to go Jersey Shore at 1, but I'm going to go Jersey Shore at 45 wins. I am going to go Scooterville behind Jersey Shore at 43, 2 games back. I think Scooterville is going to compete as always, but I think Jess is just going to get a little bit closer than she has been. Now, I am doing this. This is my redemption tour. I'm going Broad Street in 3rd. I have to. While I thought there was weak parts in the draft, I thought he had really good picks at times. I'm going to go. I said Scooterville at 43. I'm going to go Broad Street at 36 wins in 3rd place.
And the first over 500 record ever.
Finished 500 once when he took over the team in 2015. Second half.
The team still had a losing record.
Touche. I will go Cobra Kai in 4th at 34 wins. And then I will go New Jersey at, I'm going to go New Jersey a little bit longer. I'm going to New Jersey at 28 wins.
28 wins. All right. So you heard it here.
You heard it here?
Heard it here.
I know it's been a long broadcast. We've been broadcasting for about 2.5 hours, everyone.
220. We still got humans watching.
If there's still people watching, if you guys have any requests for cards, we could, we only did the American League. If you guys have any American League players that you would like us to just give you a quick preview of, we'd be more than welcome to do that. So if you guys have any ideas, please shoot them at us.
Yeah. We'll give it a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So if you have any, I know there's a delay between us talking and them hearing. So any requests for cards from the American League side, let us know, and we'll see if we have them, because there are a couple of in the mix.
Yes.
Sets that we have.
Like, so anybody that's prorated we might not have, but we'd be happy to at least look.
Let's see. I think we covered everything, but you know, everybody can visit us on social media on Twitter at JNJSOM, Instagram at JNJSOM, on what else we have on YouTube right here at
JNJSOM. On our website,
leaguelineup.com/JNJSOM.
you can follow us throughout the entire season on JNJSOM league lineup page, where you can look at box scores, you can look at season stats for every team, and you can also see how both of our predictions are doing as the season pans out.
You get to see my quirky and clever headline recaps.
Oh yeah, those are the best. You probably got a couple already. I'm ready to go for Royce Lewis and my boy Whit Merrifield and the boys.
The creative juices are flowing. But yeah, you know, you get a little recap with the box score, so I try to make it a little fun with it, with the headlines. We don't do like story recaps. We just do a nice little headline and then any injuries or any like real like game notes, like a cycle or no hitter or something, or three homers or platinum sombrero.
Yep.
Something like that. We only had one last year.
Yep.
Only one.
That's right. Yeah.
Wilson and Contreras. Let's not confuse him with Wilson with two L's. But yeah, so. All right. I mean, we got two people watching. Anybody? I mean, you don't even have to be in the league. You want to see a card? American League.
I don't know if Tracy's watching or what. Like,
Tracy, you want to see a card?
She said she was watching.
You want to see me get the water bottle and just spray Nick like a cat? I can't believe how many Zacks he's got on his damn team.
He's got 40. The Zach attack is right.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be the headline for everyone.
Zach hands it to Zach. Zach
then hands it off to Zach. But three of them are starters though.
Yeah. Well, technically Eflin's a starter reliever. So you could go Zach Gallen to Zach Eflin to Zach Thompson. Closed out by Zach Patel. Who knows? God. Robbie, please do that once. Please. Just start one of your Zachs and then have Zach Thompson come in and then Zach Littell finish the game. Yeah, come on. Because then I could be like, Lockport wins and shutout. Zach's that. Oh, God, I have problems.
Anybody? Any requests, guys?
Too long in the car. Way too long in the car.
No requests, guys?
All right. We're gonna give you what we got. We're gonna go another 45 seconds plus a 30-second lag, so about a minute, and then we're gonna start. We're gonna go up the air, and then
We're gonna
do our national
get back to the National League, and then the additional cards, which is even worse.
Olsen splits.
Well, nobody else asked. We'll go to Matt.
It's Bill. It's Bill. Sorry, Bill.
You know what? Atlanta's at the beginning.
Yeah,
so Atlanta's not hard.
Atlanta.
Atlanta's not hard. Matt Olson. Righties. Good power.
Let's start off with first base 1E8. Hit and run B, running 1 to 12. What did he do that year? 283, 54 home runs. But again, 139 RBIs, Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's also, again, take into effect that he also had over 700 plate appearances.
Yeah.
608 at bats, 104 walks, 167 Ks. The 3 column, 3-4, 3-5 spelled out, 3-6, homer 1 to 14 double, 3-7 single, 3-8 walk, 3-9 walk, 3-10 home run, 11 out, 3-12 home run to 15 out.
Wow.
2 column, 2-4 walk, 2-5 single 1 to 9, 6-7 walk, random 2-10 triple 1 out the rest, 2-12 hit by pitch, no injury. 1 column, 1-3 single, 1-4 double 1 to 8 out, 1-12 single to center field. The other good thing about this, sir, is Matt Olson has no injury. Played all 162 games, so you can play him all year round. Don't have to take him out. He can't get hurt.
Yep.
Yeah. So, let me know if you, Tracy said that'd be ideal to spray with water.
Hey, that's not nice.
Yeah, but it's funny as hell.
It's hilarious, actually, but still not nice.
Oh, Cooney's a -4. You went up.
Is he? I thought he was
Still 3 -4.
Oh, 3 -4. Okay. Yeah.
He was a 3 -3 last year, but he was also an E8 last year. He's an E5.
Yeah.
Hit and run B, running 1 to 17, double A stealing. Yes, that's a nice card, but another guy did well over 700 plate appearances. And his injuries are not in a bad spot. 112 and 212. Kind of where they should be. If not like 2-2.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Any other requests, guys?
we got Richie said opening day. Let's go. Love it. Absolutely love it. Let's put your Bravos back.
Yep. Right here.
All right. So anybody else? Let me see. It was Ozzy.
Ozzy's right in the middle. Is that what he just requested?
No, but I mean, I know he's on his team.
Yeah, Ozzy's right there as well.
Right? Ozzy Albies is a second base, 3E8 stealing B, hit and run B, which is really odd for the fact that he struck out 101 times that he's a hit and run B.
Yeah.
Also 107 times. But yeah, a good year. 280, 33 dingers, 109 RBIs, 13 for 14 in stolen bases. He doesn't have any spelled out home runs on his card because him as well, he had over 650 plate appearances. Jesus Christ, did anybody from the Brady missing games? Michael Harris, 550 plate appearances, so I guess he missed some. But yeah, Ozzy Albies. Albies is on Leonardo, right?
Yeah, Leonardo.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. We got 3. Your power column's a 2 column, but you got 2-2. 3-2 single, 3-3 hit by pitch, 3-5 walk, 3-8 single 1 to 9 out, 3-12 single, 2-3 walk, 2-5 double 1 to 10 single, 2-6 triple 1 single, 2-8 home run 1 to 17 triple, 2-9 home run 1 to 19 out, 2-11 single. His injuries 112 hit by pitch plus injury. Against lefties, he has a little more. 3-2, 3-3 single, 3-4 single 1 to 15, 3-5, 3-6, 3-8 single, 3-11 hit by pitch. 2-6 double 1 to 18 single, 3-8 home run 1 to 9 double. 2-9 triple 1 to 6 double, 2-10 double spelled out, 2-11 home run 1 to 19 out, 2-12 single. 1-2 is the injury on the left. 1-7, 1-8 is a single. He has less power against lefties, but he's got more hits. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Brace. Can you grab me the his Leonardo?
Yeah, Leonardo. Yep, right there.
Yeah, Glaber Torres.
His card's nice.
He's got a nice card. Glaber Torres. He is a second base 3 E17 stealing B. Running 1 to 13. Power against both. His power column is the 1 column. His injuries is a 2-2 hit by pitch plus injury against righties, and a 112 hit by pitch plus injury against lefties. More power against lefties. He's got a home run spelled out 1-4 and 1-10. 1-2 home run 1 to 19 out the rest. 1-5 home run 1 to 16 double. Then he's got a double split 1-8 out. 2-8 walk, and then he's got 3-2 single, 3-4-5-6 walk, 3-10 walk, 3-11-12 single. Against righties, 1-3 single right field, 1-4 home run 1 to 12 double, 1-5 triple 1 to 2 single, 1-6 double 1 to 11 single, 1-7 single, 1-8 walk, 1-10 single, 1-11 home run 1 to 15 out, 2-2 that hit by pitch injury, 3-2 walk, 3-6 walk, 3-12 walk, 3-5 home single 1 to 17 out the rest. More power against lefties, but more chances to get on base as well, lefties, because of the walks. Yeah, I mean, you can platoon those guys. They're you're good. You're gonna be a little weak. You're gonna be a little weak with the infield defense. You're probably gonna have to start Carlos Correa, right?
No, didn't we say he had one?
I don't know.
Let me look at his sheet real quick.
Ezekiel Duran is a shortstop 3 E14.
Leonardo's draft sheet. Yeah, Duran, but then I think he kept somebody else.
Willie Castro is a shortstop 4 E30, and he's a double A.
Didn't we say there was another short? Maybe it wasn't a shortstop.
Oh. No, he said Willie Castro and Duran is going to have to back up shortstop, so it's going to be Correa. We did not have a good year. He does not have a good card. He's a 2 E8 at short. I mean, he's down from a 1, but E8 is really good at shortstop.
Yeah.
You're going to have issues with defense. Third base, you have nothing but 4s to back up a 4. Shortstop, you have nothing but 4s to back up a 2. Zico Duran's a 3 E14. Second base, you do have Albies and Glaber. First base, you have Olsen, and you can also move Nolan Jones to first base. He's a 3 at first base, which he's not going to get hurt. But if you want to, pinch run, like Willie Castro comes in pinch run for Olsen, at least you have somebody else to play first base,
and then you can move Castro to the outfield or something.
Yeah, not good enough either. Edo Jimenez is still a 5+1, but he's an E3. He's got a decent card, a lot of power in the 1 column, a lot of extra base hit power, home run doubles. But you're going to struggle with defense out on the left side of the infield. And he's got Nolan Arenado at third base. He's a 2 E11 or 12.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so you have Arenado. That's right. He's a 2. But he's not, he's going to have a worse card than he had last year because he did not have a good year. He only got a 250 last year.
Arenado?
Yeah,
he didn't bat well.
So, yeah, you're going to have some issues on defense on the left side and definitely depth-wise and starting-wise in the outfield. Because right now, as we said, it looks like you're going to have to go with Gurriel on left, Corbin Carroll in center, and Nolan Jones in right. And then you're going to have to move late in the game, you're going to have to move Carroll to left to become the 1 and then put McCormick in center.
Or 2.
Or right. Or you're going to have to leave Gurriel in there, leave Carroll in center, and then bring in McCormick to play right to get the 4 out of there. So you're going to have some challenges, but it's a live and learn situation with Strat. McCormick is a 2-1, all 3 outfield positions, and a -1 arm and a B. Yeah, you have Castro, but he's bad, bad defensively everywhere. Where'd he go? He is a double A stealing though. He can run. He can pinch run. You can use them in case of an emergency, you know. But I definitely, Willie Castro is a left field 3 -2 E5. You're gonna have to see who has a better card between him and Lourdes Gurriel. He's a center field 4, third base 4, second base 4, shortstop 4, right field 3. So, I mean, you could start Castro.
He could.
It's not
He's
terrible.
a 3-0.
3 -2 E5.
Yeah, you could start him in left.
So, just gotta see what Lourdes Gurriel's card when we get to Arizona.
Yeah, once we get to, Arizona's right on top. Gurriel. Next page. Top right.
Right?
No. Oh, right there.
Where are we got?
Middle left.
Middle left. Lourdes Gurriel's a 4 -2 E2.
And left?
Not as good defensively, but it has a better E rating and they have the same arm. Hitting wise, not much different other than the fact that Castro is a AA. Castro against righties has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half against righties. And against that injury, 3-3.
Oh, 3-3's not the worst.
1-3 on the right side.
Yeah, 3's. I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half against lefties. So 11 and a half against righties, 10 and a half against lefties, except lefties, he's got no power. He's got a home run 1-7 split. That's it. Everything else is a single with a couple walks. Gurriel has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 against righties. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and a half against lefties.
yeah.
So Gurriel has more on base chances. Castro has the better defensive rating, but Gurriel has the better E rating, but Castro is a AA. So if it was me, because I love speed,
I'm a
crackhead.
I go Castro.
Willie Castro would start in left field, and Gurriel would probably be in the minors. Because you got McCarthy, and
I have McCarthy.
you have McCarthy. I'm looking at McCarthy.
Yeah.
You have McCormick,
Yeah.
who plays
All
all
three.
three, and he's a 2 -1 with a good E rating, so you're good. Except McCormick can only hit
Lefties.
lefties. So
You need to take a bat with him against righties. It's not like the end of the world, but
Yeah.
it's still not ideal.
as someone who's played with threes in the outfield on purpose, it's gut wrenching because 2 through 6 is a hit or a hit.
1 through 8, right?
A hit.
1 through 6. Yeah.
No, you can't throw one of them. Oh yeah, you can. 1 through 6 is a hit, and then there's 2 errors at the bottom.
No, not on 4. On 3s.
I thought it was 2 errors in
No.
19 and 20.
On 4.
On 4th,
I mean, I have the chart, the new chart right here. No. Oh, we have
there's a million of them right there.
what 4 outfield?
Yeah.
1 through 6, and that's it.
None on the bottom.
No, 4, 18, 19 singles.
Oh, okay.
It's 1 through 7, 14, 15.
What's E5?
E5.
Yeah.
An error split at 2. 1 through 5.
Everybody has that.
It's different for each one. It's 1 through 5, and then 5, 6 out. 3 through 6, and an 8.
So 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So it's 5 error
And it's an
possibilities.
E2. 2 base error.
Oof.
I'm sorry. What did you say? E5? I'm sorry. I was reading E9. 5 is 3, 4, 5 to the right next to it. 3, 4, 5, 12.
3, 4, 5, 12. So 4 error possibilities
Yeah.
plus the 2.
Plus the 2, which is a 1 to 5.
Yeah. That's your best option. That's your best. I would say Castro. And I would see if you could make a move. Get rid of one of your bats who can't play the field. See if you can get yourself an outfielder who can who can play the field. You have, I'll be honest with you, I might get in touch with somebody like Jonathan, who has
A lot of
he
outfielders.
has Alec Thomas at center field as a 1.
Yeah.
He has Jankowski as a 1 in left field, but he's prorated. But if you only use in defense, it's fine. He has who else? He took another. He's got Dalton Varsho, who's a 1 in left, 2 in center.
Yep.
So you might, maybe Alec Thomas intrigued you. Somebody like that. I don't know, but that's it. That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote, guys.
It's time to finish sorting. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And share the video if you see this on your social media, because I'm gonna send this to a couple of the Facebook groups.
Yep.
And appreciate all your time. We'll see you March 9th.
Kevin and I will be separating everything tonight. Monday he will bring it to the print shop, and everybody else can arrange with Kevin, obviously, except for Richie and myself.
Well, the Staten Island group can have one person meet me and take everybody's, because Annie, Jess, and Richie all live within 5 minutes of each
Well,
other.
Richie already has his card, so he doesn't need this.
Well, he needs the copies.
You can give him the copies the first day if you want him to.
Well, if she's gonna come here and pick them up,
Yeah.
whatever. We're gonna have the two-day delivery to Florida. How's it going? And everybody else, like Bill, you can just give me a ring, come by, pick them up. If I'm not home, I put them in the deck box. You can pick them up.
Sean, John, we're gonna ship yours to Japan. You have to go get them.
We're gonna put them in Ziploc bags and float them on the ocean.
Yep.
Kind of like you did to your whole team.
2 years ago. Yep.
But yeah, Jonathan, Robbie, you can come get yours. And Kenny, just let me know. Same thing as with Bill. You can come by and pick them up, or if you want to pick them up, I'm not here, put them in a deck box. And
That's it, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much for joining us. We're gonna try to make this a yearly thing where it's in person, a little bit more organized, like we were tonight compared to last year. We still got a lot of work to do on our pick list. We have all of these cards to go through still. So we have a long night ahead of us.
Yeah.
Some
pizza soon.
But yeah, we're gonna heat up some pizza. We're gonna have some food. We're gonna start working on this, and we'll get everything going. And to everybody not in the league, thank you guys for watching. Again, come check us out on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and our website, which is leaguelineup.com/JNJSOM, where you can follow us all year long. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us via message, where you could also inquire about becoming an expansion team for the 2025 season.
You can email us at jnjsom.commish@gmail.com, or go to our website and you can go to all the way to the right. What's the column? League documents? Docs?
Let's look at that real quick. So you're going to do this.
It's the last one.
Pages or forms?
Forms.
You're going to go to forms.
Nope. Pages.
Expansion application.
Yes. Yep. So go to our website, go to the top, click on forms, and then expansion application, and then you fill out all your information. We'll get that information. We'll contact you, and we want to expand.
Yep.
So I'll close it out the way I know how.
Wait, you don't know how to close out a World Series?
No. I definitely. I mean, if you want, I can go upstairs and get my 8 rings. I mean, if you want.
I'm going to catch up to you sooner or later. Don't worry. I'll hit 8 before you hit 10.
That's not. You're going to win 6 before I win 2?
Yep. Damn right.
Guys, anyway, we ask that you help control the nitwit population and have your friends spayed or neutered. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.